looking for the light. Me and my niggas prepared for the dog. You hear me? So get it on for the last days. Know what it is. 140 for the road.
They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Or your stripe, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop ball. I die for I let my color fly ball. For a nigga take me, they'll drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop page. Say he cool, he bad. He really so tough, they like, damn, look what he did to Billy go rough. Little bitch, think she can keep palm, a silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly, no, I'm from the city where they say about that river like Pet Poops. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with, yeah. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my feel, he'll play. Leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze off Run West Way. Watch your step get stretched like a lemon, so my brother bring that blade back wet. That's my enemy. Little nigga, this that cult in the talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup. I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Or your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on. It don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the bitch. Look, told them niggas get right or get left. You PK bad man, I bend to your flesh. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead my shit. Got the race, the power, I've been the showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the plan, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve out. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reeboks. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's one West practical, gladiator, maximum. Creep on them slow, but they Glock fire rapid. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no car, he gonna have to go. They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the field, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
I was gonna do two songs, but I think I'm gonna just leave it at the one song. If y'all can hear me okay, give me a 1, 2 in the chat. If y'all can hear me okay, let me get a 1. Believe I'm streaming on 2 channels, Cross the Line Radio and my channel, Captain Tazaryach in the Lab Podcast. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me all right. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me a 1. Okay, we got Asiatic Soldier giving me a 1. So I'm assuming Zakiah put a 12 in there. Okay, we got a good. I want to make sure y'all can hear me all right. Make sure my sounds is clear. I'm using what I call my backup laptop because my laptop busted on me, man, unfortunately, the other day. But I do have this one, so we'll see how it works out. Got a good interview. I think I got a good interview today. We got the brother Khalil Shabazz that I'm going to bring on in a minute. I just want to update y'all something from my business, real quick, and then we'll get right into it. So, welcome to Captain Tazaryach's In the Lab Podcast. And y'all know the In the Lab Podcast is something where I do interviews with individuals. Sometimes debates can happen there. Not saying that this one is actually a debate, but we'll get to, why we have this particular conversation. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't subscribed. For those that are watching on Cross the Line Radio, please, I'm going to put the link to the podcast, my podcast channel, so y'all can click over there, because after a while I'll be stopping it on Cross the Line Radio, and if you want to continue watching it, you have to go to my podcast channel. That's the one thing I do like about StreamYard. I'm putting the link in the chat now. What I do like about StreamYard, it allows you to broadcast from multiple channels. So if you see that channel there that I just put in the chat, you want to make sure you click that link. Join me on Captain Tazaryach in the Lab podcast, because the Cross the Line stream will be going down. Now, before I bring the brother on, I just want to give y'all a quick update. Yeah, if y'all listened to my Car Chronicles earlier today, I told y'all for my business, I changed the sizes. So for my for my Fourth Dimension body butters, they remain the 8 ounce that you see here. This is the new 8 ounce, same 8 ounce, same weight. The price has been reduced from $25 to $20 for the Fourth Dimensions. And for the $40 body butters or the Call Gas collection, you know, those are imported oils. These are now 10 ounces. You see the difference inside. Let me see. Do I have trying to see if I have. Let me grab the 8 ounce one so you can know that there's a difference. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just going to stop my camera real fast. Give me 1 second. All right. So to show you the difference, this is the 8 ounce ones that I used to have. This is the 10 ounce ones. So you can see it's clearly, this is bigger. So when you buy a Call Gas body butter, you'll get 10 ounces. So these are still $40. The 8 ounces are $20. I currently have a 30% off sale. I'll be running to the end of the week. So I appreciate y'all joining me in here. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. Should be definitely a good conversation. I'm going to bring on the brother Khalil Shabazz. I'm going to add him to my stage. I believe he's on here now. How you doing, brother? Let me check your sounds real fast. Make sure I can hear you pretty good.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, shalom, brother. I could definitely hear you
Yes,
nice and clear. And then you hear me on this side,
yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I met the reason. Okay, just to give a backdrop as to how this conversation came about, I saw a YouTube video. Matter of fact, should I play the video? Maybe that'll help people understand how we got here.
Yes, sir.
Let me see if I could find the video. I don't know if I can search my here. Is it the name of your channel? Is your name right?
No, it's Muhammad Speaks or Muhammad's Temple.
Okay, so Muhammad Speaks. Let me see if I find it that way. Not brother. No, Muhammad. Let me see. I might be able to find it a different way. Because when I put Muhammad Speaks in there, it just came up with Muhammad all over the place. Like, but not that actual channel.
You can go to Elijah Muhammad Speaks.
Let's see. You said Speaks?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see if I click that. Now that just brings me up to different speakings that he has. Trying to think, where did I find? I think I know where the video might be at. Let me see. Let me check real fast. I might be able to find it. So, and the reason why this is important, because of course we'll discover how we came about, him and I actually having this dialogue. So that's why I want to get that, and that's my fault, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely my fault, because I knew I wanted to play this video prior to, but I was slipping. So I take the blame and the hit for that. But let me see if I can find the video, and of course, I can't find the video.
Do you go to Muhammad's Temple, Detroit?
Oh, no, I did not. So let me do that. Let me type that one. That'll probably help. Temple, Detroit. And I'm just typing this on my YouTube channel as we do.
Oh, okay.
I think I might have it here. Okay, here we go. What's funny is I'm looking at the videos, of the video from 2 days ago is funny. Okay, so now let me see. Not 2 days ago. So I am on your channel. Okay, I got the video. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'm gonna play this video. This video is only about 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and then we'll get into the dialogue. So let me just present my screen real fast. Here we go. Y'all let me know if y'all could Share the audio. Y'all should be able to see my screen now. And I'm going to play the audio. After the audio plays, then we'll get right back to it. I'm going to play the audio now.
Hello?
Yes. Is this Minister? I'm sorry, I don't want to get the name wrong. Minister Shabazz?
Yes, sir. Khalil Shabazz. Yes, sir.
Khalil Shabazz. How we doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, brother?
All is well. This is Deacon IBL with Israel United in Christ, IUIC.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was calling. Some brothers had forwarded me some was a video. I guess you had did a video on our organization, but I was reaching out because, like I said again, we've never. You with the NOI?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've never had any issues with you know what I'm saying, Nation of Islam. We got a real good relationship here in the city, and I was just trying to see what was going on exactly, what happened. If something we could maybe sit down and figure out. But I spoke to the brother here. Are you familiar with the brothers here in Oklahoma City?
Oh, I don't know any brothers from IUIC.
No. I'm talking about from the NOI here in the city.
Oh,
I had reached out to this brother. He's the head here, and I asked him if you were affiliated with their organization, and he said no. So I'm hearing you say you are with NOI.
yes, sir. I'm not with Louis Farrakhan,
Oh, okay.
and that's why I feel
I see.
so.
All right, no worries, but never mind. We was, like I said, we was going to try to set up a sit down because, like I said, we've definitely rubbed shoulders with the brothers out there, with Minister Farrakhan and stuff like that. But if you're not a part of that group, then no worries. No worries, but never mind. We was, like I said, we was going to try to set up a sit down because, like I said, we've definitely rubbed shoulders with the brothers out there, with Minister Farrakhan and stuff like that. But if you're not a part of that group, then no worries.
So let me just ask you this: so they cool with you saying that the Quran is toilet paper?
Well, again, they've never said anything. But again, like if you're not with them, bro, don't even worry about it. We good. Well,
let me just ask you this: so they cool with you saying that the Quran is toilet paper?
Well, again, they've never said anything. But again, like if you're not with them, bro, don't even worry about it. We good.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It. Yes, sir.
Oh, you who believe.
All right, I stopped sharing it. I'm going to come back to the screen. So now that's what made us made me want to do this live, because I wanted to get your take, first of all, on the phone call. So I guess before I get into the other questions I had, what made you publicize the conversation? What made you publicize that particular conversation first?
Because IUIC is a bully group. They like to bully people. Because the Nation of Islam has been on the scene for 93 years. Everybody is welcome to come to Nation of Islam meetings. We give you bean pies, bean soup. We extra. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us when we go out to sell papers. He taught us not to argue with people. Like how IUIC do, you would get put out the temple for that, what they do. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the black man is blind, deaf, and dumb. He said, what you look like going out on the street trying to beat up on your brother who you don't know what he's talking about. So IUIC is a group. They know when they go to the bus stop to argue with brothers, they don't know what they're talking about. And that's what IUIC banks on. Then another fact that IUIC banks on is they cool with Farrakhan. Because I was surprised at that one. I have to say that Louis Farrakhan surprises the whole Nation of Islam at least once a year. Because it's surprising to me how he could be cool with a people. Mm-hmm. Bishop Nathaniel calls the messenger Elijah Poole. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of calling him what?
Elijah Muhammad. And the thing about IUIC that upsets me is they a group that like to throw rocks and hide their hand.
Explain what you mean. If I could, two things. Can you explain what you mean by the bully part and throw rocks and hide your hand? And for those that don't know, we didn't have any other conversation, me and this brother, other than setting up this interview, and I sent him some questions. That's all I know. But can you explain what you mean by that?
About throwing rocks and hide your hand. They gonna say when this brother called, because when he first called, he left a message with the secretary. When he spoke, he said that this is IUIC and we are a peaceful group. Now, Bishop Nathaniel, they say, used to be a police officer. They have stuff that they call verbal assault. You could verbally attack a person. You're not peaceful if you verbally attacking a person. You're not peaceful when you verbally attacking or verbal assault. And verbal assault can be when you writing stuff. You can write stuff that's a verbal assault. So they verbally attacking the messenger. They calling the messenger Elijah Poole. Bishop Nathaniel, they got this board where they have Master Farad Muhammad on a board that they have, and they telling people that Master Farad Muhammad is a white man. They had this video where they talking about to hell with your bean pies and your false God. So the thing that really got me is because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the differences between Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught Muslims that a verbal attack is the same as a physical attack. So if IUIC is out in the street verbally attacking the messenger, they might as well go and slap him in the face. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to fight with those who fight with us. He taught us that we brothers with our brother. Love for your brother what you love for yourself. But IUIC is a group that breaks the peace. They want to verbally attack because they are a bully group. They just like how we watched on the Atlanta Brawl. They thought, them white people thought they was going to bully this brother because they didn't see that while they bullying this brother, it's people who watching them who love this brother. But they didn't see that.
When you say the Atlanta Brawl, what do you mean by the Atlanta Brawl?
The Atlanta Brawl, when them white people jumped on the brother at the pier.
Okay. You talk about Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay, I got you. Mm-hmm.
The white people did not know that it's a lot of black people that's watching them disrespect this man for no reason at all, that's growing angry watching them attack him for nothing. But they didn't see them people who was watching them and was growing angry. They didn't see him. So they thinking in their mind, we just gonna buffalo this brother. We gonna kick him around. He ain't gonna do nothing. And ain't nobody gonna do nothing to help him. So they thought it was over. They don't realize that it's people who watching them disrespect this man for nothing at all. And now they mad now. So now when them brothers get off of that boat and they step to them, now it's like, oh, we didn't know. It's too late now. And this is what IUIC does when they disrespect the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They disrespect Muslims. They do all of that because they a bully group. They know they cool with Farrakhan, so they know that his group not going to say nothing. But they want the public to think that they want all of this smoke with the Nation of Islam. We to hell with your bean pies and your false God. So when I saw this, I continuously see all of these videos. I continuously see all the disrespect. So I said, okay, I'm going to make me a video to them. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's up then? Y'all talking about Allah's a rock in Mecca and that's what we worship and all this nonsense. Okay, now I'm making a video for you. You at the bus stop asking brothers who at the why would IUIC think that some brother at the bus stop who probably catching the bus to go to work, he might be going to get some food for his kids, he just walking past, why do you think that he know the prophecies in the Quran? Why would you go and ask him that? Because another thing about IUIC that I don't like, The Nation of Islam made a name for themselves, not by arguing with brothers on the corner. Muslims had to go to colleges and universities because the messenger does not want us to argue with brothers on the corner. He said that the teachings or the truth that he got from Allah is so strong that if we hear just a little bitty piece of it, he said it will force you to change. That's how confident he was in what he taught. He said that you do not have to argue with these brothers. You do not have to try to belittle them. He said all you have to do is offer it to them. So that's what we have been doing for 93 years. We just offer the brother the truth. So the messenger felt like his truth was so strong that he wanted to send his ministers to the best colleges that the white man has. Because the white man is the one who robbed the black man of a knowledge of self. The brother on the corner, he been robbed of a knowledge of self. He's deaf, dumb, and blind. So why would IUIC continue to belittle these brothers who don't know what they talking about? These brothers don't know the prophecies in the Quran. They don't know how the Bible has been tampered with. But you do this for the fake tough stuff, to make people think you are what you ain't. But then when I make my video, to get back to the call, when I make my video, because the thing about the teachings of the messenger, and I don't mean to be long-winded, brother, you know what I'm saying? I don't. But the thing about when I made my video, I was able to go because I listened to the videos that they made. They was bringing up all these arguments. They was talking about there's no prophecies in the Quran. They was talking about the Bible hasn't been tampered with. Muslims don't know what they're talking about and all of that. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Because even me as a minister, sometimes when I'm on the street selling papers, sometimes a brother might ask me. I remember one time a brother asked me the address to the temple. And I'm like, dang, I knew what the address to the temple was. But in that moment, I'm like, dang. So I looked on the back of the paper like, oh, here you go right here. Because that's natural for you in the spur of the moment. Oh, I forgot. That's natural. That's normal. I'm as a minister. I can't off the top of my head know every verse in the Holy Quran, recite all of this stuff for you. But this is what IUIC expect deaf, dumb, and blind brothers who's standing on the corner to do. So what I did, I said, okay, I'm going to take everything they talking about in their video against the Nation of Islam, against Islam, and I'm going to make a video to them. I'm going to talk about the prophecies in the Quran. I'm going to talk about how the Bible has been tampered with based on what the messenger taught. Not Louis Farrakhan, not with the watered down stuff, not with the Scientology, not with I love the devil, straight Elijah. So I sent the video and I did all I could to make sure that IUIC saw my video. So I'm thinking, big bad IUIC, I'm thinking like it's about to be on when they see this. So when the brother called me, I was thrown off and I'm sitting there listening to him trying to understand why he talking about having a sit down. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm listening, trying to understand what this brother mean, because you disrespecting us. Like you out here humiliating brothers. You trying to you take the videos. Like the brother that called got a video out talking about the Nation of Islam got dealt with. Because he was talking to these brothers who were selling papers, ain't had debating on their mind. So he asked them to explain one of the prophecies in the Quran. They couldn't do it. So now he continuously had the Nation of Islam got dealt with. So I'm like, why you want to have a sit down with me? So I talked to him. He said that some brothers in IUIC listened to my video and sent it to him. So I'm thinking like, okay. So you mean to say all this y'all saying against the Nation of Islam, all this you saying against Allah, the messenger, these brothers heard my video and they didn't just respond. Why did they send it to you? So I'm listening. I'm like, okay, they sent it to you. You live in Oklahoma. I'm in Detroit. Right. So for whatever reason, the people whoever saw it sent it to this brother in Oklahoma. Then he heard the video, and instead of him responding, he goes to Farrakhan. So I'm like, why do you have to go through all of this just to respond to it? Because you talking cash money. They got a video saying to hell with your bean pies and your false god. You know what I'm saying? Standing there like they about that life with the Nation of Islam. Because, you know, giving the public the idea, we with whatever they come with. If they hear us talking, to hell would they be, you know, all of the fake tough stuff. When you know you cool with Farrakhan. But to the public, they don't know. They thinking like, dang, listen, because the Nation of Islam got a reputation. We've been out for years. Black people know who we are. And when they hear IUIC talking about us like that and see that, they automatically gonna think like, dang, look at them. Look how they talking about the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam ain't gonna do nothing. So this brother calls me after he talks to Farrakhan. And because talking to Farrakhan wasn't enough, he still got to call me, because it should have been enough if what he's saying is true. When he talked to Farrakhan and Farrakhan told him that I wasn't with them, that should have been enough. He should have left it alone. But he still wants to call me to make sure. I want to see who this brother is. Is this brother? He could be with them brothers in Detroit, and these cats in Oklahoma don't know. So let me call this brother. So then he calls me. He give me the spiel. I'm listening to him in disbelief, like, you mean to say Farrakhan them cool with you saying? Because I wanted to talk to him. I didn't know that he was gonna get off the phone that quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, you cool with him? You can talk, because the thing about Farrakhan, people should go listen to his articles and his lectures when the Messenger was alive. This brother used to be he used to egg on fights, because the way they explain the Nation of Islam with Farrakhan's group today, that's not like how the Nation of Islam really was. The Nation of Islam with the Messenger, we your brother. You know what I'm saying? We your brother. We love you, all of that. But if you want to fight us, we want to fight you. You hate us, we hate you. You want to destroy us, we want to destroy you, black or white. But if you know we your brother, we don't want to fight you. We peaceful by nature. We not bothering you. We out in the street, we just give you the paper. If you don't want it, we leave you alone. So for me to hear him tell me that Louis Farrakhan, the national representative of the Messenger, and his group is cool with all of this stuff that they saying, I was blown away. So when the phone conversation was over, I felt like he gonna blow me off, because he was like, you know, I'm good. I wasn't good. I ain't good now. I don't like to hear them talking about the Messenger. Like, I'm not good at all. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, I'm about to send this to Vocab Malone, because I knew Vocab Malone got a little more juice in the Hebrew Israelite world. You know what I'm saying? Because from IUIC, I didn't know a lot about Hebrew Israelites, to keep it real. When I first, to give you a little breakdown of my history with Hebrew Israelites, when I first was dabbling in the Nation of Islam, trying to make up my mind, like, what did I want to do? I used to go chill with the brothers, Ben Ami, Ben Israel.
Okay.
Them brothers, it was always love. Always love. I lived in Atlanta. I would go to the Soul Vegetarian. They would have their meetings. The brother that I used to talk to all the time was in the Wisdom Hut. Always love. So one time I asked him about the Nation of Islam, because I knew he was trying to fish me in. You know what I'm saying? And I would ask him about Islam, and he would tell me about the Messenger. He would tell me about stuff I asked him. So the only time he kind of sneaked this Islam was when I asked him where the temple at, because I wanted to go. And I understood. He was trying to fish me. He thought he had his hook in me. He was kind of upset. So he kind of was like, you know, why you want to do that? But it was never no beef, like how it is with IUIC. You know what I'm saying? They feel like IUIC with this aggressive, because My take on IUIC is IUIC has not done nothing significant. They never shed one drop of blood for the black man. They really not as tough as they try to make it themselves to think. You know what I'm saying? They do fake tough stuff. Like when they went on Geno Jennings. Geno Jennings ain't bothering nobody. He never have. But Bishop Nathaniel and IUIC, they bullies. They fake tough. So since they really not about that life, like they trying to make it seem, they gonna do something to make people, oh, look at what they did to Geno Jennings. They go to these churches with these. I seen one time, it was Mother's Day. You got all of these older women, they grandmothers with their flowers. Yeah, the messenger taught us that Mother's Day is pagan. But he taught us, he said every day is Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? And he understood actions are judged by intentions. So we not going to a church on Mother's Day, disrespecting these mothers who just got their flowers from their children or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? You don't know them. But IUIC, once again, being fake tough, they know the law that says if you stand this far away, you can harass them legally. So they harassing all of these. It's just a lot of stuff that I see IUIC do. That it's like, if y'all really about that life, why do y'all like be trying to force people if they don't want? If you choose to go to hell, why am I gonna force you? Like if I tell you, look, brother, it's a dog down there. Now I done told you, if you decide you want to go, then okay, that's on you. Why do IUIC think that they need to force people? So when I sent the video to Vocab Malone, I knew they was gonna react to it. So they made a fix your face, and they talked about me. They told the people in IUIC that I'm an agent. That's that throwing rocks and high. I'm not trying to defend the messenger or Islam or none of that you saying, but I'm an agent, like I'm bothering them. That's how they tried to make it seem. Like this brother making this video against the bishop, he talking about him. You know, we used to debate, but we don't debate no more. It's just like IUIC, I don't understand them. You know what I'm saying? Because the Nation of Islam has done nothing to them. If you don't believe like we believe, okay. But the thing about IUIC that they don't understand, you are never going to turn people away from Islam. I don't care how hard you try. The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has come like black culture. Black people before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad hated black. They didn't love black at all. But because a lot of people or black people listen to the teachings of the messenger, he said his teachings is so strong that even if you hear a little bitty piece of it, it's going to force you to change. So black people listening to the messenger talk about love black. Black is the best. Black is first. Black is original. Love your black self. Love your black brother. The black man is God. All that black talk, black people accepted black. You're not destroying that. IUIC talking about, I heard them one time, they asked this brother, they said, can you buy a plane ticket to the land called black? The brother couldn't answer. But if you go on IUIC and say Kemet means the land of the blacks, Sudan means the land of the blacks, Madagascar means the land of the blacks, Ethiopia means land of the burnt-faced people. So what you saying? You know what I'm saying? The black man has always celebrated his blackness. We black. That's just what it is. Now, if you don't accept that, that's cool. But why you out here trying to humiliate these people who love black, love their black self? The white man taught us to hate black. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that black is the best color for a human being. That's why the white man taught us to hate black. Black people will see black. And another thing about IUIC too, they copy the messenger's teachings when they say God is black. Because the way, this is how, I know I'm going off, brother. I'm not trying to go all off. I'm passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, I understand.
a lot of
And
the stuff that they do, it's like, why don't you leave these people alone? If a black man love black, what's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he love his black self, he love his black people. Like, what's wrong with that? If he don't accept being an Israelite, he ain't your brother now because he don't want to be. I look at Israelite because I watch a lot of Israelite videos. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad. If you want to be an Israelite, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no. We believe the messenger taught us that Islam is the black man's religion. We Muslims by nature. If you don't believe that, all praise is due to Allah. I don't have a problem with you. We don't even never have to talk about it if you don't want to, but now I'm your enemy. That's the thing about IUIC. If you don't accept what they talking about, they little breakdowns, you the enemy to them. It was never like that in the Nation of Islam. Never.
some of the things, well, first I want to say that, of course, when I called the brother on the phone, Khalil, I told him this didn't necessarily have to be friendly because, of course, him being a Muslim, me being an Israelite, we come from two different backgrounds. Because a lot of the things that you're saying that IUIC say, we say as well. Like, we say, when it comes to the Quran, I guess we would say almost the same things in some respect. The only thing we've never done is align ourselves, like how the brother in the IUIC video said they rub shoulders with Farrakhan. We don't rub shoulders with anybody. We can always have conversations. We can discuss our differences. If it gets a little fiery, it can be fiery. We're not, it's not like men should be like right now. Let's say Khalil and myself, if we get heated in a heated argument, that doesn't mean when we get off the phone, I wish, any type of harm to him. It's just that he's passionate about what he believes in. I'm passionate. As y'all can hear Khalil's position, he's extremely passionate. So there are going to be some questions that I'm going to ask Khalil. Khalil, of course, can ask me questions back, and then, we can go from there. But before we continue, to my people that's on Cross the Line Radio, I need y'all. I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time because I'm going to end the stream on Cross the Line Radio. If you want to continue watching this, you got to come over to my Captain Tazaryach in the Lab podcast. I just put the link in the chat. So the Cross the Line link is about to go down. Please join me on Captain Tazaryach in the Lab podcast. You can watch the rest of it on there. All right. So let me go ahead and remove Cross the Line. All right. So now that is removed. So if anybody else if y'all want to continue watching the live stream, you got to come to Captain Tazaryach in the Lab podcast. So now you bringing up vocab, right?
Yes,
makes
sir.
me ask this question. There's an issue that you got with a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you go to the white man to like bring the attention? Because although vocab, like a lot of people have shine, black people I'm talking about, like a Sinetta does, I do, like how I reached out to you and stuff like that. What made you go to vocab Malone? Because vocab Malone, now I don't know if you know this or not, but vocab Malone has been like the bane of Israelites' existence since he's been amongst what you would call the Israelite community. So what made you pick vocab to be the one to go sit down with?
Because I knew IUIC was going to watch. I know that how they feel about him.
Okay.
So I went to his platform because they trying to duck me.
Okay.
I'm talking to this brother. He don't even, you hear the phone conversation, this brother, oh, okay, all right. Like, I don't care what you say. So I'm like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went straight to vocab Malone because I know how they feel about him. And I'm like, they going to be watching. Just like when he told me that about you, I'm like, yeah. Because why? IUIC going to be watching. Like, yeah. Yeah, because I'm like this, brother. I'm a brother's brother. I don't bother nobody. But I love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So if Bishop Nathaniel don't want to stop, I'm not stopping. That's just what it is.
Okay, so now what do you think so like the stuff that like I'm a fair in warfare, whether it be spiritual, physical, mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been taught to be fair within warfare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the things that you're saying IUIC say the toilet paper, all that stuff. They got that from us. They got that from us. So we echo the same sentiments.
Mhm.
So even though you coming to me because, of course, us and IUIC have that same thing, I don't want to mislead, number one, my listening audience, because my listening audience, they would say, Cap, let them say all that stuff as if they don't say the same thing. And I don't want to be dishonest to you personally, because that allows you to, if like you couldn't have the conversation about the toilet paper or what we say about the prophecies of the Quran, if you couldn't have that conversation with the brother from IUIC, feel free to ask whatever question in regards to it, because you can ask me the question. I guess that would be the difference between us and IUIC. We're not afraid of the conversation. Like, we're not afraid to bump to come to any type of understanding. So everything that you said that they say about the Quran, and we say the same thing. I'm not going to say the methodology may not be the same and the verbiage may not be the same, but the understanding is the same. Like, we believe the Bible is what we should follow. Everything else is trash. What they said about Mother's Day, we feel the same way about Mother's Day. So there's some things I'm not going to be dishonest and say I don't agree with them, because I do agree with them. The other thing I'm gonna ask this one more time, and then we could just move forward. I don't know if I'm gonna ask or just make a statement. Even if I would never use Edom, we call them Edomites, we call white people Edomites. I would never use an Edomite or a white man against my brother ever. I couldn't do that. And so you were, and I didn't expect to ask this question, but once you said you intentionally went to vocab for that reason, that's why I'm asking, because I do have my list of questions. So, but you doing that, you don't think that perpetuates what we do as Black people, where when we have an issue, we go to the white man, as opposed to trying to resolve it amongst the brother, even if that resolving is a clash, even if that resolving is them ignoring you, XYZ like that. You don't think that you kind of played into the mentality of, I'm gonna call the white man on my brother, or no?
No, sir. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when Malcolm X used to debate, he would go on Cups and It show.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali had Mike Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Wallace would be interviewing. He would talk against Mike Wallace in the temple. It's audio of Muhammad Ali talking about how Mike Wallace looked before he put his makeup on. You know what I'm saying? Talking about how he a devil, this cracker look like this. But then next week you see him with Mike Wallace being interviewed, telling him about the black man, the black. Malcolm X, Cups and Net. He used to go on the Cups and Net a lot. The Messenger got interviewed by Cups. It's like you using, just like this platform.
Right.
It's the white. Everything here is the white man's. Whether you directly dealing with them or it's just a platform and we don't see them. My point was, I wanted IUIC to see that it's people who love the messenger.
Okay.
We don't like that you talking against him. We just as passionate about our love for him as you are. So since you don't want to listen to me, then I'm going to go to this platform, whether he black, whether he white, he got a platform that I know you going to be watching. So I'm going to go on his platform and say what I want to say. Okay.
Fair enough.
Because I initially sent the video to them.
So you sent it to IUIC first?
Yes, I sent the video. Not the phone conversation. I sent the actual video responding to their video. I sent it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and then the thing about this white man stuff, I saw something where they was fighting some brothers and they called the police on them.
That's us.
Oh, well, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so
y'all kind of in the same boat. They call the white man, y'all call the white man.
No, we ain't.
I'm a comedian in my part-time job, but that video that you talk about where they called the white man, that was them calling the white man on us, and you called the white man on them.
Let me ask you this. If I called the white man on them, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing now on this platform?
Who, you and I?
Yeah, because all of this
Black
is
people are allowed to. So black people are allowed to have their civil war without outside interference.
it's an interview with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
He was talking to lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyers was asking him because they was black lawyers.
Right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad also had white lawyers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, because you saying I'm calling a white man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I ain't saying you calling a white man all the time. I'm just saying you went to the white man. IUIC went to the white man. Y'all might have a little bit more in common than you. I'm just messing with you, brother. You gave me that window right there. But what they did is more egregious. Like what you did was just went to a media outlet that you felt could get your word out. What they did was far more egregious because it was a bunch of them that attacked our brothers, and then they held them down. They actually screamed that we had a gun when they knew that we didn't have the gun, in the hopes of us getting shot. So although I'm saying y'all both did the same thing, what they did is far more egregious than what you did by just doing that. So if that helps you.
Oh, it doesn't bother.
No problem. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about some other stuff. We can always talk about that. And like I said, any of those differences or issues that you felt they had, I really want you to understand we pretty much say the same thing. So if you want to ask questions why we say those things, of course you can ask me within this back and forth. When you bring up Farrakhan, for example, a lot of people assume, I know I always did, I didn't find out until I debated a Muslim maybe back in 2020 or 2021, when I found out that although collectively outside of the NOI, when we think of the NOI, we think of just one conglomerate of the NOI. So for us, Farrakhan is like the prime or top cat, and then you have other what you guys would call ministers and temples throughout, but all under that one umbrella. It wasn't until later that I found out that there are differences, and I believe you represent one of those differences. Can you speak about that, like how that came about, like why the differences, why not one NOI? And I'm asking you this because my listening audience will probably, though especially new listeners, will hear for the first time that the NOI are not all together like we think, because that's what we think from the outside looking in.
Well, the difference is that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the one who we believe has been chosen by Allah. That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. He taught us that the die has been set. He taught us about his teachings. You either accept it or you reject it. It's no, you accept little part of it, you think some of it is good. It's either all or nothing. Okay. So in the beginning, most brothers love Farrakhan because we never saw the messenger. We know very little about him when we first get attracted to the nation. You think, right, like most people, Farrakhan, like, look at this brother. You know what I'm saying? So you love this brother. You see him, you listen to him talk. But every Muslim, whether they admit it or not, has that moment of truth where you begin to realize that what Louis Farrakhan is saying and what he's representing is not what the messenger said. So sometimes people meet that moment of truth when their love for him is not that strong. Okay. Some people meet that moment of truth where they deep into it. So they know that what he's saying is not what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, but it's like your love, just like if you love a woman and she don't love you, but your love so strong for her, you can't leave her. That's how it is with most Muslims that's with him. It's all you have to do is get a message to the black man and go to the making of the devil. Listen to how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the white race is a race of devils, from the babies, the unborn devil, to the baby devil, The mama devil, the daddy devil, and the dead devil. They all devils. They bad. That's how he talk about them. Farrakhan don't talk about the devil like that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talks to us about unity. That's a big thing that Farrakhan gets in, and the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said that the black man should unite under the crescent of Islam. That's what he said. All black people. He said that if you are a black man and you feel like you don't want to unite under the crescent of Islam, then he said, bring me your program that you have for the black man, and let's match it with my program and see which one is best. Okay. Because we can only follow one program. It can only be one, and let's follow the best one. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that his program is the best for the black man. So if you cannot produce a program to match his or better than his, he was like, I'm not uniting under nothing with you. So you continue to do what you've been doing. We love you all. That's why they say Malcolm wanted to join with the civil rights group. The messenger wasn't with that. I'm not going and joining on to something lesser when I know I got the best plan for the black man.
So what? So I was going to ask you, so were you in the nation back then, or was you someone that came in later?
Oh, I came in later.
Okay, you came in later, because I know when, what I've been told is that when Elijah passed away, his son was to take over. And then that's kind of where the first schism, if you want to call it, or break off began to happen. I know there was a brother by the name of Clarence X that would go on to establish the nation of gods and earths. And you had others. Are you aware of any of that history or anything like that?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, no, you got it. You got it, brother.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son was the first one to take the black man off of the messenger's path.
Okay. And was he backed up by Farrakhan, or was he away from Farrakhan?
Yes, sir. Farrakhan became his national representative. And this is stuff that you don't know when you first start following Farrakhan. You don't know that he was with Wallace. You think Wallace just tore the nation down by himself. Mm-hmm. You don't know that Farrakhan was with him. Farrakhan, I heard one time, it was a lecture to show people how it was a lecture that Louis Farrakhan was giving, because you had brothers in the Nation of Islam who was loyal to the messenger even when Wallace started changing. You had brothers who still wanted to wear their bow ties, still wanted to sell Muhammad Speaks newspapers, still wanted to be loyal to, because the brothers love the messenger. That's the one thing that you will find when you find a believer who loves Elijah Muhammad. They love him. Like, he changed your life from your core. So you love him. They were trying to hold on to the nation, but Wallace was tearing it down. So Farrakhan was his national representative, and he was actually making fun of the brothers who wanted to stay loyal to the messenger.
Who was making fun of him?
Who
was making fun of him?
Farrakhan. I couldn't believe that when I was listening to that. And this is why today, when I see him and he allows Bishop Nathaniel, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us the characteristics of a hypocrite. He wrote in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and he gives us several. And this is another thing that you don't know when you first start following. You find this stuff out. The messenger said 2 characteristics of a hypocrite. He said a brother who is not satisfied with what the messenger taught. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a hypocrite is one who says he believes, then disbelieves. Or a person who say they believe and don't believe at all. So if you got a brother who a hypocrite, he say, oh, I'm with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I love him. But the messenger tell us, for an example, we supposed to wear short haircuts. But this brother want to wear an afro. Oh, he tell the MGT they supposed to cover their hair, but this sister, she don't want to cover her hair all the way. They don't like the fact that the messenger said the white man, so they make excuse like, oh, well, you know, some of them, you know. They want to add stuff to what, like Scientology. You ain't
Yeah, because
satisfied.
Farrakhan went into the Scientology.
Yeah,
You know,
because
before you do that, right? You bringing that up, right? Did you ever hear what he said about Medea?
yeah, I have.
Because I want to play. So yes, just yesterday, right? So I haven't really engaged with Muslims a lot lately, right? And then when I called you, I think we spoke Monday or Tuesday or something like that, and set up the interview for this weekend, this Friday. And yesterday I was on Clubhouse, and you know, the Jada Pinkett and Will Smith thing has been kind of taken over. And so in the conversation with Will Smith, we brought up how he took a role in the movie 6 Degrees of Separation, where he had intimate scenes with men. And so there's this actor on the stage, and he said he would take the role. So we kind of jonesing on him and stuff like that. So it's two Muslims in the room. The one Muslim says, the one Muslim brings up Farrakhan, like as if to say Farrakhan said it's okay. When he said that, it made me instantly remember what Farrakhan said about Medea. Do you mind if I play the clip? Because I have the clip here. Can I play the clip real fast?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because this goes right back to what you were saying about changing or compromising. So I just want to play this for the listening audience. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to present my screen. Let's go here. We're going to share. Y'all should be able to see my screen. I'm going to play it now.
Why do I admire him? I have never seen his portrayal of Medea as a man cross-dressing. I saw his wonderful portrayal of Medea as bringing to the forefront the strongest person in the history of our sojourn in America, and that is Medea. That strong Black woman who was the cornerstone of her family. She always was that figure that gave guidance, correction, reprimand, discipline. And Tyler Perry brought her to the screen in funny ways. But what I was seeing was the greatness of the strong Black woman who saw us through from yesterday to today. Again, you know, there are many sick people in America who have had very bad life experiences. And we don't have the blessing of being able to go to a psychologist or psychiatrist to help us handle our problems. But one of the great things that I saw with Imam W.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because he kind of switches the subject. But as you can see there, he says that I don't see Tyler Perry as a man cross-dressing into a woman, but I see him as bringing to the forefront the greatest person in our sojourn in America, which is the Black woman. And what always, obviously, the cross-dressing aside, the type of woman that he's portraying, I don't know if I'm offended more by what Farrakhan says, that it's okay for a man to cross-dress as a woman, or if it's okay to cross-dress and then show other Black women that this type of woman is the type of big mama that we had when we was coming up, like in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, because that woman that was coming up in them 50s and 60s was not what Medea is portrayed. And so when you brought up how he changes or compromises, we know about the Scientology and stuff like that. And I just had this conversation on that same video. That's what made me want to play the video. Now, did y'all separate from him for things like this, or was it something earlier that made y'all separate from him? Like, I guess, like, how long has your specific set in Detroit, how long have y'all been established? That's essentially what I'm asking.
Well, the Muhammad Speaks here in Detroit has been established since 1991.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So all Muslims have my thing with Farrakhan was the teachings of the messenger. I wasn't with Farrakhan when he, you know, said the Medea thing. I never was with him. I almost was with him, but I knew enough, thankful to Allah. I knew enough about the messenger that, you know, that when I was going to his meetings, I could recognize that he's not saying what Elijah, because I was Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said the white man's the devil, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I know, but you try to make excuses for him. Even the one thing that he says also that I want to say that the messenger never taught. And this is another reason why I feel like Farrakhan and IUIC teaming up. The black man is the true children of Israel. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad never said that at all. When I saw Farrakhan, it's like he be helping them. You know what I'm saying? Like the messenger never. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that Israel represents the whole white race. That's what he taught us. He didn't teach us that it was black Israelites. Never. But Farrakhan, in 1978, Farrakhan became friends with Ben Ami now. So Ben Ami was having problems in Dimona with the Israelites or with the people of Israel. So that's when Farrakhan and Wallace backed up Ben Ami. So that's when Farrakhan, to back him up, started saying the black man really the true Jew, like trying to get at the Jews that was in Israel. He was trying to back him up. And he had been saying that so long, trying to back up Ben Aminim, that not Farrakhan has dug himself such a hole by watering the teachings down to help other people. He helped Ben Aminim with the Israelite stuff, so he's flipping the messenger's teachings with the Israelite Jew stuff, which the messenger never taught. He flipped the teachings for the Scientology people. He flipped the teachers for the Orthodox Muslims so they can do Juma. So now when Muslims who don't know the teachings of the messenger, when people ask them stuff about Islam, they don't know. You could have a brother who you could say, what are the prophecies in the Quran? He probably don't know because he don't read the teachings of the messenger. And this is another thing about Farrakhan and IUI. Farrakhan used to teach the prophecies in the Quran. Malcolm X, when he used to debate, he would go to colleges. He would explain the prophecies in the Quran for the black man, plus the prophecies in the Bible. We have the transcripts of his speeches from these colleges. We have his newspaper articles that he wrote in the Muhammad Speaks. He used to write this stuff in 1957 in the Pittsburgh Carrier. But Farrakhan know all of this. But he would allow Bishop Nathaniel to mislead all these black people because when Bishop Nathaniel and all these people attacking Islam and they don't hear a response, they think Bishop them winning. When he say, "Oh, what's the prophecies in the Quran? The Quran ain't for the black man. What name one prophecy?" Brother probably don't know because Farrakhan ain't teaching that. He had the teachings of. One more thing about him. Farrakhan has all of the Muhammad Speaks newspapers of the messenger from 1961 to 1975. He would not put these papers out because the messenger taught us about hypocrites. He taught us about the Quran. He taught us about the Bible. He taught us about everything. He would write articles every week. How to eat to live, all that. So Farrakhan had all these papers for years. He would have his Savior's Day, charge believers money to come see these papers in a picture frame. Or he would have it in the glass where he'd have them spread out. He wouldn't let you read it. So then Jay Storr, a few years ago, came out with all of the papers. They the ones who come. He the national representative for the messenger. He don't let you read the paper. He don't want you to read what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about a hypocrite. He don't want you to read that. He don't want you to read about how the Holy Quran got prophecy, because when you know what the messenger taught, ain't no honorable minister. So the messenger taught us that there are no big I's and little U's. He taught ministers. He said, just because I give you something to do, that don't mean you better than this brother. You ain't no better than him. So a couple questions, right? And I would definitely like you to show us the prophecies in the Quran, because you mentioned it a few times. But when you bring up that Farrakhan said that we are the children of Israel for Ben Ami, I just want to play something real fast, all right? Let me just play this real fast. Give me 1 second. Give me one, just sharing my screen.
It'll make you stand up. It'll do the same thing for you that truth did for the dry bones in the valley. Because the picture of dry bones in the valley is talking about you. The picture of Lazarus laying dead 4 days is talking about you. You are Lazarus. You are the dry bones. You are the prodigal son. You are the lost sheep. You are the people about whom the Bible is speaking, who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up.
So now the reason why I played that is because Malcolm is.
Could I ask you, could you go to the beginning of that? Could you go to the beginning of that and play it?
And you want me to play the beginning of it? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'll play the beginning of it. Go back to it. Share. I'm going to bring it back to the beginning.
We believe in the truth that is in the Bible.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there.
That the white man.
Got you.
Now, Malcolm X said, he said, we believe in the truth of the Bible, right?
Correct.
This comes from what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe.
Which is?
This was an article that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote, because I heard Bishop Nathaniel say this. He played that same, now I know you probably know the brother that he said. He said that this brother named Yaquab taught Malcolm the scriptures. That's what he said. He said that this brother Yaquab taught Malcolm the scriptures in New York. That's what he said.
I know Yaquab, but I'm not sure of that story.
Then I forget what they was talking about. All of them at IUIC was talking about the Malcolm X thing. It was one of them videos they were talking about the Malcolm X thing. So he was they had a story and everything. Like, yo, Yaquab went to Malcolm and all of that. So they played that video, that same one that you just played.
Right.
Malcolm X, when you go, and this is another thing about Farrakhan, we got the picture of Malcolm X holding up the Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
Right.
He was reading, the messenger was saying that people had asked him about questions about what the Muslims believe and what the Muslims want so much that he put it in an article, and that article became the back page of every Muhammad Speaks from 1962 to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the one who taught us that we are the lost sheep, because our name is the Lost Found Nation of Islam. That's the name we got that Master Farad Muhammad came in 1930. He said we are the lost but found, and we are the lost found nation of Islam, because in the parable of the prodigal son, it talks about how he was dead, but now he is alive.
Not in the prodigal son. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, it does. Because one of the sons squandered off, the other son that stayed. Right.
So it talks about how he was dead, but now he's alive.
Who are the people that it's talking about?
It's talking about the black man.
No. In the Bible, who is it talking about?
The black man.
And who is the black man in the Bible? Because the word black is not in the Bible.
It's a lot of things that's not. Let me first
meaning what ethnicity? Because this is Christ's parable. And who is Christ? Christ is a Jew. He's given a parable.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that Jesus was not a Jew.
Where did he get that from?
This is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about the Bible.
Right.
He taught us that King James, because he said that John Hawkins put us in physical slavery. He said King James put us in mental slavery.
Okay.
He said King James wrote the Bible in a language that a slave would not understand.
What language was that?
Huh?
What language was that?
He said that King James had poets to write the Bible.
No, but what language? When you say language, you're not okay. Good. I'm sorry. Good.
He said that King James had poets to write the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He said when a poet says one thing, he means something else.
Right.
Like in the Bible, when it talks about the serpent, then it talks about how the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Then it talks about a dragon. There's no such thing in the world as a dragon, but the Bible uses poetic language. It talks about a dragon. It talks about a beast. It talks about a woman. It talks about the lost sheep. It talks about all of these things that it's talking about, but it's saying one thing and it's meaning something else.
What is that? What is this something else?
When it's talking about a serpent in a garden, it's not talking about a real snake.
Absolutely not.
But when the black man,
it's talking about a man in the garden.
Exactly. So in 1611, when the black man was in Jamestown, Virginia, who was here to tell him that the snake represented a man?
Who you said who was there to tell?
Yeah, the black man that's picking cotton in Mississippi in Jamestown, Virginia. They give him the King James Bible, reading it like how Bishop Nathaniel do with what is it, Revelations? What is it, 1:15, where it talks about he say the Bible says Jesus is a black man.
Right.
The Bible don't say Jesus is a black man.
What does it say?
The Bible says that Jesus had his head and his hairs were white like wool.
You know what that means?
The point, did the slave know what it means? That's the point.
I'm gonna tell. So now here's a part of history. Maybe I'll show you. So like I did a debate and a lecture on real Christianity. I actually called the debate Surviving Christianity. And what you would find is that when the slaves were initially given the Bible, first they was given the version that took out all the rebellious type of scriptures. Like they find Bibles where they took out any scripture that would make a slave read it and get inspired to rebel. But then you had some men like the Denmark Vessies, the F.S. Cherries, the Nat Turners, that when they would read that Bible, the Most High would give them the understanding to know exactly who the devil is. Nat Turner's story says, as he read that Bible, he saw that serpent in the sky, and he knew that that was talking about the oppressor. He knew that that was talking about the slave master. So when you say the language that King James wrote it or had poets write it, that part's not true. Like what I have here is what's called a Zondervan Bible Dictionary. I'm just going to read this excerpt. This is in regards to the King James Bible. It says King James nominated 54 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day. Only 47 actually took part in the work, which did not begin until 1607. They were divided into 6 groups, 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New Testament, 1 for the Apocrypha. Marginal notes were used only to explain Hebrew and Greek words and to draw attention to parallel passages. Italics were used for words not found in the original, but necessary to complete the sense. The work was actually a revision of the Bishop's Bible on the basis of the Hebrew and the Greek. So even King James' version of the Bible, he didn't have a hand in. He just hired people to retranslate an existing Bishop's Bible to make sure that it was accurate to the Hebrew and the Greek. So when we read the serpent in the garden, when we read the dragon, even when we were a sheep, this is how you know that it's a black man's book. I agree that the word black man is not in the Bible, but the language and how we talk. If me and you do something together and I tell on you, you're gonna call me a rat because we put names on people based on their spirit or their vibe. The lost sheep is why sheep requires a shepherd. We call a man a serpent. Why? Because he's forked tongue. He say one thing, do another. That's why we call the white man the serpent. The dragon represents the military might of the so-called white man because that's who it's talking about. That's a revelation. So it's not meant to be taken literal. So when we talk about the prodigal son, as you said, Elijah mentioned, as we talk about Malcolm, talk about we are the valley of the dry bones. If we're the valley of the dry bones, if we're the prodigal son, then we are the children of Israel, because that's who's talking and who it's talking about. As far as Christ, Hebrews 7:14 says, it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. So he would be a Jew.
This is the thing that, brothers, because that's what you're saying now. That's your interpretation of history. But
That's not history, that's the scriptures.
The fact of the matter remains, because you said I listen to IUI, because IUIC the main ones I listen to. I don't really, know, but they read that too when it's talking about King James and the people who he got to
write it.
Right.
Translate.
Right.
So he's not, and I'll give it to you. I'm gonna just say this one last thing. So it's like, imagine if I take this book that's written in English, and I'll reverse it. You're the king. You have this book written in English. Your people speak Spanish. So because I'm an expert in Spanish and English, you say, translate this from English to Spanish. So now I'm not creating my own. I'm just taking these words and translating them into Spanish so that your people can read it. It already exists. So King James didn't make up a Bible. He took the records that already existed and just had them translated into the English so that the people could read them.
Let me show you the difference between a translation and a version.
Okay.
When we had a Holy Quran, it says the Maulana Muhammad Ali translation with commentary. So in the Holy Quran, it has the words that Prophet Muhammad used in Arabic. Then next to it, it has the English words. Because like you say, a translation is when you say Arabic is say black. All you doing is taking the word from Arabic to English that means black. That's simple translation.
Right.
But when you have the King James Bible, it don't say the King James translation. It says the King James Version, because a version and a translation is two different things. When you're talking about a version, you're talking about from a particular person's point of view. When you're talking about, because this is from King James' point of view.
No, it's not.
If you want to say king or the people who he had to write it.
Right.
Version means, that's like if me and you saw something. You give your version, I'm going to give my version. Just like when people talk about the Muslim slave trade, they be talking about, Muslims sold Muslims and all this. The Prophet Muhammad had slaves. When you go into that, that's Christian scholars' version of the history of Prophet Muhammad. Because when you're talking about a version, you're talking about adding, like if I want my version of the Bible, you could have a verse that I feel like, no, I don't like that verse. I'd rather have this verse. Or you have the Catholic version that has 72 books, but the King James version has 62 books. Because his version of what he wants to talk about is different from their version. But when you had a Holy Quran, it's always the same Arabic word with the same. Now, when you have different like you have the Maulana Muhammad Ali translation, and then you have another translation that's called Yusuf Ali. The difference between certain translations is Maulana Muhammad Ali, he uses Allah. In that instance, he don't translate Allah to God. But in the Yusuf Ali translation, he translates it into God. Still the same meaning, still the same word, but Maulana Muhammad Ali chooses to use Allah instead of God. So when you have the King James Version, then on top of that, you tell the black man it's the Holy Bible. Because holy, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that holy means something that has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. So that means you taking Jesus's exact words and you taking those words and you putting it into English. They don't do that with Jesus' words. You got the gospel according to Matthew, the gospel according to Luke, a gospel according to 4 different gospels according to 4 different people. That's not a translation. That's a version. You got 4 different versions of the same story. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the revelation to Jesus was only one book. And this is why it says,
what book was that?
The gospel. That's why it says the gospel according to, because
right.
Jesus was revealed the gospel.
Right.
That was his revelation. Prophet Muhammad was revealed the Quran.
Before we get into that, right, I just want to show, first of all, you just kind of showed how the Quran, if I just go with what you just brought out 2 versions of the Quran. And you brought out 2 versions where somebody used
translation.
That's still a version. It's one person's translation. By your logic, one person's translation and another person's translation that have differences, but you explain what the differences are, meaning this person's version writes God, this person's version write Allah. It's still a version. When you get a King James 1611, it doesn't use the word version, which I have right here. It says edition, the 1611 edition. So now I also have in my possession a Torah. So this is a Torah right here. This is a Torah. This is the Holy Scriptures, the Torah. So now the Torah does what you say the Quran does. So when you look at the Torah, it has the Hebrew on one side, has the English on the other. So what I'm going to demonstrate is how the King James is just a translation of Hebrew. So I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28 and 68 in the Torah first, and then I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28 and 68 in the King James, and then we'll see if it's the same. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 68 in the Torah. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now again, this is the Torah. So the Torah has the Hebrew on one side, the English on the other. So now let's see the King James. If it's different, it should say something different. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 68, King James Bible. And it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So the King James edition, not version, because again, the King James edition is not his own. All he did was take the bishop's Bible and just translate it, because at that time, the Roman Catholic Church, who he was against, did not want to give it to the people. And of course, you control a man's religion or spirit, you control him. And so his version was then given to the people. Also, when you say there's 72 in the Roman Catholic, when you get, as I read when I broke it down, the 47 scholars broke down the Bible into 3 parts. You had, the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. That's the 72 books that you say the Roman Catholics still have. And if you have a 1611, it encompasses all of those same books. So when you say that the King James did something different, another thing, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, which dates back to, I think, 4 BC, it said the same thing written in there when it was translated as the King James. So there's no way that King James, who was in the 1600s, could have went back to 4 BC and retranslate or recorrect it. So if the Dead Sea Scrolls max up with the Bible, then there is no tampering that King James could have ever done with the Bible. So we cannot say that King James tampered the Bible, had somebody revamp the Bible. So back to my original point, when it says Christ was a Jew, that's in 4 BC, it's in the 1600s. When you talk about the prodigal son that Jesus referenced, he's talking about the children of Israel. So when Malcolm X says we're the children of the valley of the dry bones, that's Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, where Ezekiel is prophesying to the whole house of Israel. So Farrakhan was not wrong when he said we the children of Israel. Neither was Malcolm wrong when he said we the children of Israel. Neither was Khalil Muhammad wrong when he said we the children of Israel, because we are the children of Israel.
Okay. I'll finish. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said that the gospel was originally one book. That's why it says the gospel according to Mark, because it's still, that's just like if I had a message to the black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote message to the black man. Now, if you have a message to the black man, let's say according to Farrakhan. Farrakhan met Elijah Muhammad. We could say, well, it's according to Farrakhan, but Farrakhan knew he walked with Elijah Muhammad, and we'll think that when Farrakhan writing something down about Elijah Muhammad, you would assume, oh, he was with him. It's eyewitness account. Farrakhan not talking about Scientology and all type of stuff that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad never talked about. So when you talking about a prophet of God, we don't need 4 books. We need the gospel. We don't need the gospel according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Just like today, we as Muslims, we don't want a message to the black man according to Louis Farrakhan. We want the message to the black man that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote, because anything else is tampered with, because it's according to Farrakhan. Farrakhan don't want to say that Jesus was, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teach that the white man's the devil. What if he don't want to say that? Because it's according to him.
You mean if Farrakhan don't want to say that?
Right.
Right.
What if Farrakhan, we got the message to the black man according to Farrakhan. We think Farrakhan saw, just like how they talk about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They tell us these are eyewitness accounts and all that kind of stuff. What difference do it make? If you have the gospel, which are the actual words of Jesus, why don't you give the people the gospel? Why did you have? Because when you say according to, that means a person's opinion. So when in the gospel,
you can explain what you mean by that. When you say, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like me and you talking, right? We talking about the same thing. You say something that's according to you, and I'm gonna say something that's according to me. I'm gonna say my according to is gonna be what I want my according to be. Yours gonna be what you want yours to be. So if Jesus was a Muslim, I don't want to say he was a Muslim.
He wasn't.
No, I'm saying in my according to.
Oh, okay.
Because Jesus and all the prophets was Muslims.
No, I'm saying he was not a Muslim.
I'm saying he was a Muslim.
You would have to prove that.
It's easy to prove.
You about to go into some deep water, and I'm just letting you know about we get that. Okay,
let's prove whether or not Jesus was a Muslim.
Yeah. So
now, in the Holy Quran, which the Holy Quran verifies the truth of the Bible.
No, it does not.
The Holy Quran makes all prophets the same.
No, well, the Bible does not.
Okay, let me explain, brother.
Oh, okay, no sweat. I'm sorry. I'm just ad-libbing. I'm sorry. Oh, God, let's go. Let's go.
The Holy Quran makes all of the prophets the same. But in the Bible that the Jewish and Christian scholars tampered with, they separate Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because in Exodus, and this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, he says that the white race, or the Jews and the Christians who are the white race, he said they are scientific liars. So he said in the Bible, where it says that God told Moses that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that that's making God a national or a tribal God.
Facts.
Because he said, God, Allah is the God of Adam.
Who said that?
God of Cain and Abel.
Who said that?
This is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad
Okay,
told.
Gotcha.
He said he's the God of Noah. He's the God of Job. He's the God of Methuselah. So why would God just separate these two? He's not the God of Adam. That's like if God says, I have power over Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
When he has power over all things.
Right.
So if he has power over all things, why would he just tell you or tell me, I only got power over Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? When he has power
He didn't
over
say he
all
only
things.
had power over Abraham, Isaac. He didn't say that.
Exactly.
He said, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Exactly. So just like Allah has
But you know what that means?
let me just
Oh, I'm
finish.
sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Just like Allah has power over all things. He is the God of all things. He the God of the birds. He the God of the fish. He the God of the sun. He's the God of everything. So the Jews and the Christians, these scientific liars, they make God a scientific God and say, oh, when God revealed himself to Moses, he said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When Allah is the Lord of the worlds, he's God over everything. He created everything, and he's the God over even the devil. He is the God over the devil. He can destroy the devil. He can allow the devil to have time to rule. He's the God of the devil. He can give the devil right guidance. He can do what he want to do because he's the Lord of the worlds. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the white race or the Jews and the Christians are scientific liars. And he said that they added lies to the scriptures. He said because the Jews are the murderers of the prophets. They rejected the prophets. They persecuted the prophets. And the prophets that they didn't kill, persecute, and murder, they added lies to the script. Just like another example. It says in the Bible that Noah got drunk. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that's another scientific lie because Noah never got drunk. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said Noah, before the flood, the Bible says that Noah was perfect. Noah was perfect when the rest of the world was corrupt. He was not that he was 50%, 70%, 80%. He was perfect while the whole world was corrupt. So God chooses Noah to be his prophet. He teaches for, I believe it was 150 years. Noah sees God destroy the whole world for sin. Now he a perfect man, 100%. The Jews and the Christians want us to believe that now all of the evil and wicked people are destroyed. The earth only has righteous people now. So now Noah plants a vineyard. So now Noah still got time to think like, wait a minute. God don't want me to get drunk. But he plant the vineyard, wait for the vineyard to grow. Then he gets him some wine. Now a man who was perfect when the whole world was wicked. He decides now, for whatever the Jews and the Christians want us to believe, he decides now I'm going to be evil. Then the Jews and the Christians want us to believe that Allah or God would accept that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that when Allah makes a law or a rule, it is a law or a rule for the prophets, the apostles, the common people, the kings, everybody. He don't make special rules for special prophets. Oh, I'm going to destroy the whole world for being evil, but I'm not going to destroy Noah. Noah's evil is cool. I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah for evil, but I'm not going to destroy Lot for committing incest, even though I chose him and saved him from being destroyed from the Sodomites. So this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, that while the Holy Quran had to be revealed,
all right,
it had to verify the truth of the Bible.
Hey, before I interject, you're supposed to show where Jesus is a Muslim before I respond.
All of the prophets were Muslims.
But can you prove it?
Okay, the Israelites reject Muhammad, right?
Facts.
They rejected Jesus, right?
Non-facts.
So, okay. So when, according to the Bible, when Pontius Pilate saw Jesus, he said, I find no fault with this man.
Right.
He wasn't even with the Jew. He outside of their circle. He looking at them like, this man ain't did nothing wrong. But the hype, because I hear Bishop Nathaniel and them try to break, because they be like, it wasn't all the Jews. It was just some of them.
Well, that's the same position I'm taking. Like the people that set up.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So the Pharisee Jews with the other Jews, because Bishop Nathaniel say it's just the Pharisees. It's just the Pharisees. So the Pharisees say, yo, we want him to die anyway. We know he innocent. We want him to die. Right. So he bring them before all the rest of the Jews. The rest of the Jews chew, yo, we want him to die too. So they say that his blood will be on our hands and our children's hands.
Right.
So all of the Jews knew that they rejected Jesus. They didn't want to hear his message, because if Jesus was talking what is it? The Isaac, the covenant with Isaac. If he was like, yo, it's the covenant with Isaac, y'all chosen, God love y'all better than everybody. Y'all can kill the prophets and won't nobody do nothing to y'all. Y'all special to God. Ain't no other nation special to God but y'all. Why would they reject him for telling them that?
You still ain't answered and show how he's a Muslim.
I'm telling you, they rejected Jesus. They rejected Muhammad.
Right.
For what? I'm asking you, why do you reject? If Jesus was a Jew, right? He was talking to the Jews' special stuff. Right. You reject him and kill him. Reject his message, everything. Right. Not Prophet Muhammad come along.
Right.
You reject him. He ain't a prophet. He, his stuff he talking about ain't nothing. You said
he's a different nation than Jesus, though.
You said the same thing about Jesus.
He's an Ishmaelite, though. He's not an Israelite.
So Muslim why did you
like Muslim is not a nationality. Muslims is a religion. They're the name.
No, sir.
Okay. Ishmael, Muhammad was an Ishmaelite.
No, sir. Well, okay. Let's entertain that.
Wait, before you do that, I just need you. So your position, because you said a lot, which I need to respond to. Okay. Your position is that Jesus was a Muslim because he was rejected like Muhammad.
No, I'm telling you, all of the prophets were Muslims. Jesus was a Muslim too.
But you got to prove that. Show me where Jesus is called a Muslim.
The Jews rejected Jesus brought the gospel.
Rejection does not mean you're a Muslim.
Hold on, listen to me. Jesus brought the gospel. The Jews and the Christians don't give us the gospel. They give us the gospel according to this person.
Listen, brother, you still got to show.
This is what I'm telling you. Right. If Jews killed Jesus, Jews rejected Jesus. Jews said that his blood is going to be on our kids' hands and our hands. So now some Jews write or have something to do, however you want to say it, with the gospel that Jesus supposedly had brought. Why would we trust a Jew to tell us Jesus wasn't a Muslim? He was a Jew like us.
That's what the scriptures say.
According to who? According to the Jews that killed Jesus? That's what we supposed to believe?
I'm glad you said that, because now I'm going to help you out. It's interesting that Muslims say the Bible was tampered with, except the parts that they want to show is how Jesus is a Muslim. So the Bible ain't never tampered with the verses that they choose to use. It's only tampered with when we pull out verses that show how the Israelites are those people. So I just want to do a brief recap, then I'm gonna respond. So the brother made a point to say, God damn it. He made a point to say he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I want to read this scripture. This is 2nd Ezra 6:54, right? Exodus 6, 2nd Ezra 6:54. The point of that is not to say that he's not the God of all nations. He gave every nation on the planet their inheritance, but Israel is his portion. That's Ecclesiasticus 17:17. 2nd Ezra 6:44. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thou creature, of him come we all, and the people whom thou hast chosen. You yourself, of Malcolm, Elijah, Farrakhan, Khalil, all say we are the chosen. God says the same exact thing, that the children of Israel is his chosen. So you can't get mad if we have God that's if you want to call him a racist or chooses a people, when you call yourself chosen. When you keep reading, it says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, because the covenant was never given to them. You made a point to bring out who killed the Israelites. Who killed Christ, or unalive Christ, rather. I told you who that was in Mark 8:31. I'll read it for you. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders, of the chief priests and scribes, and be put to death, and 3 days rise again. That right there lets you know Noah was not a drunk because he got drunk one time. It doesn't say that. If I go out right now, I don't have no drink here today, but if I go out right now and I have a drink and that drink makes me drink too much that day, I am not sinning. It's only if I go out and be a drunkard every day, and that's every sin. That's gluttony. You're not a glutton if you overeat one time. You're only a glutton if you do it multiple times. You brought up Lot. Lot was righteous. It wasn't him that slept with his daughters. His daughters tricked him into doing it. When I'm saying trick, man, I believe they gave him something so that they could take advantage of him. That's on them. That's not on him. That would be like the first recorded, what's that term? Date rape. I probably can't say that word. That's the first recorded that. You bring up science and how the white man uses science, but I believe Elijah say the big head scientist created the white man, which there is no proof of that. There is no proof that some big head scientist named Yakub created the white man, but that's your version of science. I need to correct myself. I said the Dead Sea Scrolls was translated in 4 BC. The Dead Sea Scrolls was found and dated to 400 BC. And it's the same records that y'all say the so-called white man came and translated. I agree. The Jewish man and the Christians, white people, they did take the records, but they never distorted the records. That's why your leaders still use them. Your leaders still use them records today, because when they want to say something of power, they use the Bible. They don't use the Quran. When I pull up any speakings from Elijah, Malcolm, Farrakhan, Khalil, or anyone, they use the Bible. Y'all say that Elijah is the Elijah from Malachi. So if he's the Elijah from Malachi, why is that not tainted? When people tell me about something, if the Bible was tainted, I wouldn't even read that Bible at all. I wouldn't acknowledge no portion of it. I wouldn't accept no portion of it. I wouldn't pick and choose. When you say the gospel, and why would the Bible or the gospel say that Jesus is a Jew? Because Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not reject Christ. Paul didn't reject Christ. The reason why we have those records is because every Israelite did not reject Christ, as you are teaching. Otherwise, we don't have no record. The fact that we even have records of Jesus Christ's life is the very proof that every Israelite did not reject them. Otherwise, we would not have them translated as early as 60 AD. Meaning 60 years after Christ, we have the records of Christ preserved by Israelites. Paul is an Israelite. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Peter, writing only to Israelites. So the gospel of Christ is preserved because the Israelites made sure it was preserved. There is no verse that says he's a Muslim or any other Israelite is a Muslim. The Quran even says Israel is the chosen people of God. Even the Quran says that. So the Quran tampered with that says that?
The Quran does not say that the Israelites are the chosen people of God.
Okay, wait, let me just get it first. But you can keep talking while I get it.
I hear. I'm gonna get back to the other point, because the point that I'm trying to make to you.
Right, come on, get with it.
This is the message to the black man. I think brothers understand what I'm saying, but let's go over it again. We have 4 gospels. That's like if we have 4 messages to the black man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a follower of the I don't be Elijah Muhammad. If you sincerely representing him, you would give me the message to the black man he wrote. You would not give me a message to the black man according to you or according to anybody. Because if you have the message to the black man, he wrote it, he the messenger of Allah, why would you not give me the message to the black? Why would you give me according to Mark, the message to the black man according to Luke? The message, what are you trying to hide? Why can't you just give me the message to the black man? So when you have the Jews who rejected Jesus, they rejected the gospel. So the only way they're going to give you a gospel is according to what they want to say. It's according to this one. It's according to, why it's only 4 according tos? Ain't nobody else got nothing to say? Why those 4? Why don't we just, because when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, he said the Holy Quran is just one book. The Gospels of Jesus is just one book. And the Torah is just one book. But when you go into what they call the Torah today, you have 5 books. You got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. People just assume because they call it the Torah, they think it's one book. But it's actually 5 books. 5 books that scholars say they don't know who wrote the books, but they give Moses credit for the books. And they talk about how if Moses wrote it, it wouldn't say when Moses went on top of the mountain and when Moses was gone. Moses would say, just like the messenger said in Message to the Black Man, he said, I met God. It don't say in the message when Elijah
who was his God that he met?
When Elijah Muhammad went on, it said the messenger wrote it, so he said, when I met God.
Hey, who was the
God
God
told me this.
Who was the God that he
That's
met?
the same thing. Hold on, let me finish. That's the same thing that a book would say if Moses wrote it. Moses would say, when I went on the mountain, when I came down and seen them do that, it wouldn't be somebody narrating Moses' life. So this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us why God raised him up. And now we're about to get into the prophecies of the Quran.
Hey, before you do that,
okay.
Before you do the prophecies, Surah 247.
Mm-hmm.
Children of Israel, recall my favor which I bestowed upon you, exalting you above all nations. That's Surah Al-Barak. That's his version. When I go to another one, it says, "O children of Israel, remember all the favors I granted you and how I honored you above the others." You said it didn't say that in the Quran. You are mistaken.
It doesn't. That doesn't say that the Israelites are the chosen people. It says they gave them favor. Now let's break down favor. Wait. Hold on. Let me explain.
Oh, yeah, what's the favor? Give me what the favor is. Give me.
Now, if I got a friend, we all got a job, but come payday, he ain't got no money. So now he want me to do him a favor. Let me borrow some money. I let him borrow. Now, if I give him this money, do that mean he better than my other friend? No, I just did him a favor. So when you go to the Holy Quran, and it talks about the favor that the Israelites got, they got favor more than any other nation. What is that favor? The Israelites murdered prophets.
No, I want to know what the favor is.
I'm telling you what the favor is. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Israelites murdered prophets. God gave them another chance. Say, I'm not going to destroy the Israelites for murdering prophets. I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to give them some favor. Now, other people I'm not giving this kind of favor to because they don't need this kind of favor. The Israelites is so wicked. They need extra favor. More than any other nation needs favor. The Israelites needs favor. So they kill a prophet. I don't destroy him. I give him another chance. Say, look, y'all, all right, y'all did that. I forgive you. Now, here go another prophet. They reject him. Another one and another one. They persecute some, just like Jesus said in Matthew. You persecute some, you chase other, you murder, all of that. That's what Israelites did. That's why in the Bible, Jesus said that the blood from, from righteous Abel all the way to Zechariah is on the Israelites. So that's a lot of favor that God has been given to the Israelites for them to continue to murder prophets. They add lies to the scriptures. So
that's not the
hold
favor.
on, let me finish.
Okay.
So this is a prophecy for the Israelites, just like when your mama about to whoop you.
Right.
I let you slide when you broke the window.
Mm-hmm.
It is calling to mind all the favor I gave to you more than I gave to your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I let you slide. I let you break the window. I let you take my car out when I ain't give you no permission. Call to mind all this before you get this beat down.
Right.
Call to mind so you won't think it's unfair.
Right.
Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said Israel represents the whole white race. He said there's no such thing. There ain't no black Israelite. But what the Jews did is just like when you have a poet who says one thing, but he means something else. He says a beast. He don't really mean a beast. He means something else. He don't mean Lord, because the black man is not a sheep. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that King James hid the truth from the black man. When we was enslaved, even though the lost sheep means us, how is a black man in Mississippi picking cotton gonna know we the lost sheep? He not gonna know because there's nobody there to teach him. So from 1611, 1711, 1811, 1911, we ain't got nobody to teach us. So now in the Holy Quran, let's go to the prophecy.
Wait, I don't want to. No. Wait. Before
let me just end it with, put that icing or that cherry on top.
With the prophecy?
With the prophecy. I think this would be the cherry.
So far, you ain't showed Christ as a Muslim.
I think this
the
is
hell out of
be
the scriptures. You ain't showed favor.
We went away to talk about this favor. I want to put the cherry on top real quick.
Okay, and after you do that, then I'm gonna respond. Give me the cherry. Get the cherry, y'all.
So,
get him the cherry.
We did not have nobody to teach us. The black man went 300 years, couldn't read or write.
Mm-hmm.
The white man reading these verses straight like it is. Yo, it's a beast. It's a serpent in the garden. It's a woman. They don't know what he's talking about. It's a dragon. Ain't no such thing as a dragon. It says in Acts, I think it's the first chapter, the 9th verse. It says that the people was looking and a cloud took Jesus up and it took him away. And they say in this same manner, he will return. Now, the black man listening to that's straight spookism, but he listening to that and he's believing that. But he don't know that a cloud cannot carry a man to heaven. So the prophecy in the Holy Quran, let's get to that. This comes from chapter 2, verse 129. This is what is called Abraham's prayer, because it's in section 15, it's called the covenant with Abraham. This is Abraham talking. He says, "O Lord, and raise up in them a messenger from among them who shall recite to them thy messages and teach them the book and the wisdom and purify them. Surely thou art the wise, or the mighty, the wise." Now we all know Prophet Muhammad never taught the Bible. Prophet Muhammad, according to the history, the Quran was revealed to him in 23 years. He would get a verse here, get a piece here, time would go on, get a piece here. He never had a chance to even teach the Arabs the Quran. That's why they have hadiths. He didn't teach them nothing. He didn't explain it to them. He would give them a little wisdom, but he didn't explain to them and give them no teachings. So Prophet Muhammad, he didn't teach the book and the wisdom. This is talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the man who God raised to teach us the book which is the Bible and the wisdom, meaning the signs and the symbols behind all this symbolic language. Because the one thing that we can say that's the difference between Israelites and the Nation of Islam. Israelites claim that they always believed in the New Testament. That's what they claim. But if you go to 1956, you don't find no Israelites teaching nothing about the Bible at all, or the New Testament. They rejected Jesus and the New Testament like all other Jews. That's why you don't have black Jews a part of the civil rights movement, because they felt like they Jews and they better than everybody else. You had the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was getting criticized by the Orthodox Muslims for teaching the Bible. Who else was going to teach the Bible? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad writing articles in 1956 in the Pittsburgh Carrier explaining the lost sheep. He explaining the prodigal son. He explaining the Old Testament of the Bible. He explained. So all of the Israelites start looking at the Muslims, because at this time the Israelites was in the synagogue doing bar mitzvahs, wearing yarmulkes just like the white Jew, thinking they better because they Jewish, because black wasn't nothing special. You special because you're Jewish. They didn't participate in the struggle at all because I'm Jewish. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the one who taught us, unite with your black brother, whether you are a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim or not. This was the Honorable Elijah, because he said the black man in America represents the Lord, not just a Jew. The black man in America. He taught the black man to stop eating pork. Wasn't no Jews telling the black man to stop eating pork. They weren't going out on the street saying, here in Leviticus, it say you ain't supposed to eat no pork. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad came out with message to the black man, or how to eat to live. He had message to the black man. He got radio broadcasts. He got newspapers. He had ministers. But now today, since Bishop Nathaniel and other Israelites heard how Muslims have been interpreting the Bible, because no Jew nowhere who is a Jew accepts Jesus or the New Testament at all. Those are facts. But now Bishop Nathaniel is Israel united in Christ. And another thing too, Israelites, just like you played Malcolm X. Malcolm X was in the nation. Israelites play Israelites play Muhammad Ali. We don't have to do that. We don't play Israelite leaders. We don't know of any Israelite leaders that was teaching anything before this generation. So we don't share y'all, but y'all will share our leader, or Malcolm X, who was taught by the messenger, but y'all will say, oh, he went to some class with Israelites, and that's how he learned how to interpret the Bible. But where's the newspaper articles? Where's the radio broadcast? Where's the books? Where is any of that? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad got all of that, because the Holy Quran prophesies of him. It talks about the black man getting the knowledge of self. It talks about the black man being God. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the Bible talks about, or the Holy Quran deals with the black man on the resurrection day. It don't talk about us going into slavery, because the black man is not going to be a slave forever.
All right, if I could chime in right there. There was a lot said.
This is the body bag session.
I just want to highlight, you say that y'all don't quote our Israelite leaders. Every time you read the Bible, you're quoting our Israelite leaders. Every single time. We don't quote y'all at all. I played that video because you said Farrakhan was wrong saying we the children of Israel. So I had to grab that bow tie. It get a little choking up, over there.
That's funny.
He grabbed that bow tie because it got a little hot. So again, you guys from Malcolm, I didn't interrupt you. Okay. You guys from Malcolm to Elijah say we are the Israelites because you teach from our leaders. When you read Malachi, that's an Israelite leader. Jeremiah, Israelite leader. Christ, an Israelite leader. When it talked about the favor, because I have to go back because you was talking so goddamn long. I mean, goddamn, the favor Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people on the face of the earth, which your Quran, repeat it, your Quran, Surah 2:47, echoed the same sentiments, copying. You try to make it the Israelites be so wicked when Muhammad had a 9-year-old wife. 9-year-old wife he had as his wife, but you want the Israelites to be wicked. And even with the wicked Israelites, when I read Jeremiah 31:36, it says 31:35, thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being before me forever. Last time I checked, the sun, the moon, the stars is outside. So that means the children of Israel still got that same favor. It did not go away. It did not change. There is nothing that you just said. And it says in the hadiths, they used to say, before we get to the old Muhammad, the new Muhammad, when I was asking you who is his Allah is Fard Muhammad. And there's an argument over whether he was white man, black man, who he is, who he's not. We don't have a man God at all. And you keep talking about Muhammad wrote message to the black man, or the Quran, read some here, read some there. He should have read some more, or he should have actually been taught, because you again chose to quote the prodigal son. You again chose to quote verses in the Bible when it's convenient for you. The Bible is 100% correct. When it's inconvenient for you, the Bible is invalid. You made a point to say why there's only first you was complaining about there's only of Christ living. Why is there only 4? Why would there 4? There should only be 1. But then you just said, why was there only 4? You got to make up your mind. Like James 1:8 says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Because when I read John 21:25, let's read why there's only that many. Let me grab this verse. This is the book of John. John will tell you, his own disciple will tell you why there ain't that much left on only those gospels. This is John 21:25. And there are also many other things which Jesus did, the which, if they should be written, everyone, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that it was written. So the 4 gospels is enough. You make this point to say the Torah is 5 books, shows you don't understand. The Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy are all different parts that contain the Torah. Then you have what they call Tanakh. So it's almost like y'all only got that message to the black man, right? But I'm going to use y'all as an example. Let's say if the Nation of Islam starts with just the message to the black man, right? And then as y'all grow in history, y'all write down and record more things that's happening, because you said for y'all to be around for 92 years and y'all only got 1 book, that's really horrible, because y'all should have a history of what's written. And that's what it is with the children of Israel. So when we got Moses and he writes and establishes, because every prophet had a scribe. That's why you have what they call scribes. They write down what you say. So every prophet had a scribe. So as the history go, so when Moses was gone, you had Joshua, you had the book of Judges, you had Isaiah, Ezekiel, because as we grew, or as time goes on, more prophets come, the scribes write their records. It's not that difficult. And what makes the Apocrypha so important is because when Malachi is over, if you just have the regular Bible, it just jumps right to the New Testament. There's a whole gap there. The whole gap is the Maccabees is in there, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, Second Esdras, all those things close the gap from a timeline perspective. So now we know what the children of Israel was doing before then. I think you're confused with the Jewish man. The Jewish man is a straight up convert. I would suggest you also do a little better history about the Israelites following the Bible, even while Muhammad was going. The only part I will agree with you is that you did have some Israelites that was what we call Jewish, meaning they was learning from white people. Just like y'all come from Arabs. Y'all are following the Arabs' religion and just remixed it. That's why I know the version of the Quran that y'all read, the Arabs don't read. The Arabs don't give y'all the same respect that y'all probably give them. Quick question before you go further. How do you feel about the Israeli and the Palestinian, the Hamas? How do you feel about that?
Well, of course, we as Muslims, we take the side of who's right. So, of course, if I was to take a side, I would take the Palestinian side. But the honorable, like, huh?
You gonna fight with them?
No, sir. We take the side of who's right. We watching like the world is watching, just like Bishop Nathaniel when he up there talking about Muslims, like the Nation of Islam ain't gonna talk about how Libya they enslaved, but we gonna talk about it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said these people have governments and they have armies. We don't have a government. We don't have an army. We don't have supermarkets. Some of our neighborhoods are food deserts. That's like Malcolm used to say, you worried about a man who drowning in a bathtub when you drowning in the ocean. That's bust out Bishop. You talking about, we don't talk about Libya. Libya got a government. Libya got an army. If Libya can't help Libya, what we gonna say? Now, of course, we sympathize with them. But we sympathize with our brother too.
I'm gonna shame you.
But I want to get to this where you saying.
Before you do that, before you get into that part, I want to shame you real fast. When black people thought they was Africans, which is weird to me, in the 50s, when I think Mussolini was going to conquer the Ethiopians, the black people was going over there to fight for them, even though they was in that poor condition. But the Muslim who has his Muslim brothers, the Hamas, the first thing he said, he gonna go with who is right. So now he's not even taking a position on the Israeli side or the Hamas side. I guess he's gonna wait to see who wins, and that's who he's gonna go with. That's a cop-out. But he's not going to help his brothers. Those supposed to be his brothers over there. I got brothers in the UK. Let something happen to them. We are going to the UK to help our brothers in the UK because they are our brothers. But apparently, those are not your brothers, like you say. So I just want to highlight. Welcome to Captain Tazaryach in the Lab podcast. I got my man Khalil Shabazz. I didn't think it was gonna go like this, but here we are, and I'm fine with it because I told him in the interview that it didn't have to be friendly, because although I heard the video of him and the cat from IUIC having a conversation, some of the positions that the IUIC have on the Quran is what we agree with. So I didn't want it to look like it's like a capping session from either him or I. So the freedom was given for him to challenge and say whatever it is that he want. He chose violence. I'm fine with the violence. My sword always gets bloody. So I want to shout out to the 275 people in here subscribing. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the channel that I do like YouTube shorts. I do interviews and the like. If anybody wants to wants to come in for an interview, feel free to hit me up on any platform. Big up to the people watching or listening on Clubhouse. And so we're gonna get back to it. Now, you said you wanted to respond to what now?
It's two things I want to respond to. I want to respond to this thing about we follow an Arab religion, and I want to get back to what we was talking about. Who was to teach the black man? Because the point that you missing, I don't think you missing it. But from 1611 or from 1555 all the way till the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was raised up by Allah, who taught the black man the Bible? Since we quoting from an Israelite book, the black man was robbed of a knowledge of self. We quote from your leaders, like how you say. So who taught, since the black man was robbed of a knowledge of self with the Bible? We quoting from y'all leaders, as you say. The Bible is y'all book.
Facts.
When did y'all start teaching the Bible or accepting the New Testament and say, okay, now I want to go out, not just dealing with Jews. I want to deal with all black. I want to start telling the black man, stop eating pork. Since the Bible always in Leviticus from 1611 all the way until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote How to Eat to Live. Where was the Jews at talking about since that day y'all leaders? Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that since the Bible was used, and this is what Israelites need to understand. We don't quote the Bible because the Bible's so special. The Bible, the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, John Hawkins put us into physical slavery. King James put us into mental slavery with the Bible. So if he put us in mental slavery with the Bible, then to get us out of mental slavery, you must explain the Bible to the black man. It's not that the Muslims, we want to use the Bible because the Bible so that, no, if he would have used the Quran to put the black man in mental slavery, we will use the Quran to tell him like, no, brother, the serpent means a man. Jesus is a black man. The black man is God. You don't come from Adam. You made Adam. Adam is a made man and you are the original man. The Bible says that all people, or the interpretation, they try to say all men come from Adam. All men don't come from Adam.
Right, you kind of repeating the same thing. I just want to read
I'm
this.
not. I'm telling you, we explain
like
the Bible to the black man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we quoting from Israelite leaders. We make the black man understand the Bible, not the Israelites. Israelites coming after us to try to reteach what we already been teaching, but you put your Israelite, just like for an example.
Wait, but before you give that example,
hold on, let me just finish.
I'm just gonna ask you a question, and you can go. Is Elijah that y'all follow? Is he the Elijah of the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Was forth to come. Mm-hmm. Is that a forgery? Is that plagiarism in the Bible? Is that correct?
That's correct. Because the Bible, the honor be like, because you laughing, but it don't change the truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the Bible is mixed with truth and false. Noah really lived. He was a real prophet. But when you lie on the prophet and say he got drunk, somebody needs to explain to the people that's not true. Why when you have in the Bible and you say Jesus is going to ride a cloud into heaven, the black man believes that. You got to explain to the black man, brother, a cloud only goes 6 miles high.
Yeah.
Just from the
you don't understand the Bible because in the Bible, I gotta cut you off again.
The atmosphere is 6,000 miles.
But brother, you just keep regurgitating stuff.
I'm telling you, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us the understanding of the Bible. King James tried to hide the truth with the Bible. I think you here's your point.
I do understand that part.
Can we get to
we could do that in 1 second. We could do that in 1 second. Okay. The more you talk about the Bible, the more you show how unlearned you are in the Bible, unfortunately.
Well, why didn't the Israelites teach us then? Why did Elijah Muhammad, if I'm unlearned in the Bible, why did the Israelites wait till they saw us?
So let me show you in the cloud, right? When it talks about a cloud in the Bible, it's talking about a chariot. It's talking about a chariot that guides them. You'll see chariot.
That's what was told to the black man when he couldn't read and write. They was told that means
that was written. Yes, I'm gonna prove it to you. So now, I told you I did a PowerPoint on this, man. I don't think you know.
So you telling me that when the Bible was given the truth?
Hold on. So now you said what Israelites was teaching. So I did this lecture. I get the flex, y'all. I did this lecture on said subject. So now I'm gonna read some excerpts for you. This is Prophet William S. Crowder. Let's see if God ever taught a man about the Bible in slavery. William, while in Guthrie, Oklahoma on Tuesday, September 13, 1892, the Lord God appeared unto William S. Crowder in a vision. So when you say God didn't appear, what God appeared?
Is that a book that's written about him? Did he say that?
I wasn't in 1892.
Because I don't remember Crowley teaching the black man about the Bible. I only heard about Crowley when you reading it now. But all black people know about the Nation of Islam.
What I would suggest you do is just fall on this sword nice and slow. Just let me finish reading this. Just let me finish reading this. So it says, the Lord God appeared unto William S. Crowley in a vision, telling him that he wanted to redeem Israel out of spiritual and mental bondage. You know who echoes those same sentiments? You guys. Because you don't quote the Quran to get us out of spiritual and mental bondage. That Valley of Dry Bones that I just played from Malcolm, that's Malcolm saying, Ezekiel the 37th chapter, we're the dry bones. We got to come out of spiritual and mental bondage. 1896, Crowley moved to Lawrence, Kansas, and the prophet began preaching the word of God at first on the street corners. He organized the first tabernacle at Emporia and the second at Lawrence. This is facts before you guys. So when you say,
show us the people who he resurrected. Show us the people who was listening to him.
He want me to be Michael J. Fox, y'all.
No,
he want me to be Michael J. Fox. Go back in time and show.
You going back in time to read to me that God talked to this man.
Your message to the black man is back in time. You didn't know Elijah Muhammad.
Didn't know. But his
and
works,
you wasn't there.
I can tell you who he raised, though.
Here's what both of us are doing.
I can tell you who he raised. You know who he raised.
I don't. What I do know is that him and Malcolm split because they couldn't remain brothers. That's what I do know. Khalil and Farrakhan split because they couldn't remain brothers. That's what I know about the Nation of Islam. Your prominent leaders split because they couldn't remain brothers. But what I do know,
your prominent leaders didn't split.
Not the prominent leaders. It was younger men that came in the 90s that caused that division.
No, I'm talking about with Rabbi Matthews. Abba Bivens and Yaquab them didn't leave.
That's actually an excellent question. You said this earlier when you was talking about Farrakhan, and when you seen Farrakhan leaning more to the white people.
Oh, you said
Let me answer the question. You made a point to say that when Farrakhan was leaning more to the white people, you can't follow that.
Right.
Same thing with Matthew, Abba Bivens.
Same thing.
Rabbi
the same as the Nation of Islam, so our leaders ain't no different than your leaders.
You asked the question. I'm just going to answer the question.
Oh, so show me how your leader's different.
I'm going to show you, because Matthews is not my leader. Matthews is a historical talking point. My leader is Abba Bivens and the 7 men that established ISUBK. That's my leaders. But
so was he Abba Bivens' leader? Because Malcolm wasn't my leader.
That's what I'm about to tell you. He was not Abba Bivens' leader. When Abba Bivens came up from North Carolina to New York, they were all in the same temple. They was all in the same Jewish temple. And as they're reading these records and realize that they are the children of Israel and not the so-called white man, Abba Bivens left. That's just what it is. But Matthews was never their leader. It was Abba Bivens, then Yaquab, Ariel, Mashal, Lahal, Kazak, Shar.
We could say the same thing about Malcolm. Malcolm wasn't the messenger.
What y'all can't say, I ain't talking about
Malcolm.
What we can say is that Elijah Muhammad's Allah was a white man named Fard Muhammad. We can say that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that. I had this picture waiting for you to say that.
Right.
Okay, you say Master Farad Muhammad is a white man. We hear y'all say that all the time.
All the time.
But the one thing we don't never hear y'all say, show us God, your God.
Damn.
Show us the man who your God chose to lead the black man. Because just like how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said,
finish him.
We're not following your program if our program better. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. You don't believe that. That's cool. But all we asking every time we have a picture, right? People laugh. Oh, he a white man. Show us God.
So
show
you
us
saying
the
that's
real
God?
and show us the man who
you
your God
that
raised
God?
up. Hold on. Show us the man, because we already got the laughing out the way.
But how the
We
white man
already
the
got
devil
it out
and
the
he your
way
God
that
at
you
the
think
same
he a
time?
white man. So now what we want to say, okay, show us God then.
How the
Show us
white man
one.
the devil
Show us
and
one.
your God at the same time?
Huh?
Hell, how's God the devil? Excuse me, how's the white man the devil and your Allah at the same time?
Master Farad Muhammad is not a devil.
He's a white man, right?
So let me add, y'all say Master Farad Muhammad is not a white man. Now let me ask you this. Don't y'all say that the father...
Wallace said,
Hold on.
Elijah's son say that he was a white man?
We talking about what he Master Farad Muhammad raised up the message. He didn't raise up his son. He didn't teach his son. So we don't care
I'm
what his
asking you,
son
did Wallace say that Elijah was a white man? Farad Muhammad was a white man.
I don't know.
Did he
what
say
he
yes?
said. I don't know.
You said you don't know what he said?
I never studied nothing from Wallace. But what I do know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raised him up to lead the black man. He would say, if you don't believe that Master Farad Muhammad is God, show us your God, show us your God's works.
So the white man really not the devil.
You trying to go around, show us your, we heard what you said about the white man stuff. Now what we want you, because we showing you our God, we telling you his name, we tell you when he was born, we tell you when he came to Detroit, we tell you he raised up the man, we tell you, but y'all laugh, but y'all can't show us your God, y'all can't show us your works, y'all can't show us nothing. So if you don't know who God is, how you gonna make fun of my God when I'm telling you he God, he got works, you copying off of what he taught? So until anybody...
We actually not copying off of what he taught.
Y'all are copying.
Everything that we follow comes from the Bible.
Okay, so if everything y'all follow comes from the Bible...
Right. In Exodus 20:3, it says, thou shalt have no gods before me. That's the first commandment.
So show me the God that we're not supposed to have a God before.
The God that y'all have is a white man.
Okay.
I wonder if I'm gonna answer your question. Hey, put in the chat if y'all think Yaqub created Farad Muhammad.
No, we're not talking about Yaqub. We talking about God. Show us your Israelite God.
I'm going to answer the question.
When we talk about Master Farad Muhammad, we don't read scriptures. We don't be talking about Christians.
You know what's interesting? Allah is reading the scripture though. He holding the book in his hand. He read. Listen, Allah.
Let's talk about that.
Listen, wait, hold on. Allah is reading. Allah is reading in that picture. So Allah got to read his own words, what he wrote.
Okay, we hear you saying that. Let's get back.
Yeah, let me start with my God. Let me talk about my God.
Show me.
How I know my God is the God of Israel is by the children of Israel waking up to their true identity. We ain't no Muslims following a Quran that has nothing to do with us at all.
Ain't showing us your God, bro.
It is, because when we wake up, like the scriptures say, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Being an Israelite is the number one thing in 2023.
Okay, but when we talk about Master Farad Muhammad,
you can't tell me nothing about Farad Muhammad. He dead. Allah died. So now you're telling me God died. My God didn't die.
Have you ever met him?
You met him? You met him?
Never met him.
Is he dead, right?
No, sir.
Where he at?
I have no idea.
But he ain't dead.
No,
now,
sir.
Because you tried to say earlier. Now I'm about to get you, because here's what I know about you Muslims. Y'all believe that
when you gonna show us your God? You keep talking about us.
Wait. Hold on.
Your God. Show us the man who your Israelite God raised up for the black man.
Don't be so touchy now. Let me say this part right here.
Then y'all believe your God after you say this.
I just did.
Oh man.
Now, y'all believe that Farad and Elijah is up on a chariot somewhere.
Sir. I already told you the difference between
us where he at? Then where's Elijah at? He dead too. So where they at? Where they at? Okay, Allah's not dead.
Huh?
Allah's not dead?
No, sir.
So where's Father Muhammad at? He ain't dead?
I don't know.
So he living somewhere.
Yes, sir.
So why he ain't coming to help y'all? Why ain't he helping the Hamas? If Allah is alive,
Hold on. We keep drifting in the other.
I'm just wondering if Allah is brother. You can't tell me that Allah is alive and the Hamas is getting bombed to hell by the Israeli government right now. Allah is failing.
So what about when the Jews killed Jesus? Where was his God at?
Once again.
What about when the Jews
how you said, how you made a point.
Where was God at then?
Got you. So now I just read, see the difference between you and
Thessalonians.
Yeah. What?
It talks about how after the workings of Satan,
right,
the man of sin will be revealed.
Right.
It says the devil shall come.
Right.
And deceive the whole world.
This ain't plagiarized, right? This verse ain't plagiarized, right?
No, sir, because it's truth mixed with falsehood.
Can you show me a falsehood in the Bible?
I showed you when it talked about Noah being drunk.
And what was the falsehood about?
Lot having incest with his daughter.
Stop. Let's just stick with Noah. What was the falsehood about Noah? What was the falsehood?
A prophet of God. God chose Noah because he was perfect.
I'm asking you to show me what the falsehood is. I don't need that long soliloquy.
The falsehood is to accuse Noah of getting drunk.
And then accuse him of anything. Show me where the accusation is at. Can I read it? We can read it.
Yeah,
you show me where the accusation. I need you to show me where the accusation of sin is at on Noah.
What do you read the accusation of sin?
That's the falsehood. He would have to have sinned. Did Noah sin?
Did he get drunk?
Did he sin? Yes or no?
Yeah, he sinned. If he got drunk,
so now we're going to read. I want to read the sin. I want to read the sin. Let me read it. Let me read it.
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 9. You tell me where the sin is at. Genesis 9 and 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told his brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness, meaning they had more honor than Ham did. And Noah woke with his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan." The only one that sinned was Ham. Noah didn't sin. So again, you don't know the Bible. You don't know it. Elijah don't know it. Malcolm knew it. Khalil knew it. But y'all don't know the Bible at all.
Who did they learn it from?
They learned. Okay, now if you talk about Khalil was at the school learning in the ISBK. I can't say that for Malcolm, but Malcolm sure knew that the Valley of Dry Bones was the children of Israel. The only thing y'all got right, but y'all couldn't leave that Quran alone, was that we the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what y'all did know. The prodigal son is how the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, or house of Israel and house of Judah, was coming back together. Okay. And you just don't have
this is Malcolm X at a college debate, because this has the transcript, because Israelites continue to say, like, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us the truth of the Bible and the Holy. He has in the message to the black man in the back, it says how to understand the Bible and the Holy Quran. So Malcolm X in 1960 through 1961, way before Israelites, he was debating at colleges. Before there was a black studies department, before the black man loved himself and even thought he was special enough to even study his history, Muslims was going to colleges debating. This is an example.
But y'all didn't use the Quran to debate.
Okay, let me show you. This the transcript of his speech. This is chapter 4. This Malcolm X.
Okay, read it.
Quoting the Holy Quran. It says, in the Holy Quran, it says, "He it is who raised from among the illiterates a messenger from among themselves, who recites to them, who recites to them the book and the wisdom, although they were before in manifest error." It even has the Holy Quran chapter and verse, because when they put this transcript in the book, they put the Holy Quran verses. Hold on, let me finish, brother. Mm-hmm. They put the Holy Quran verses where he's giving the prophecies of the black man in the Quran, and he also gives the chapter and verse of the Bible where the black man is being. But see, most people know nothing about the Quran, so they only stick to the Bible stuff. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this is another example. This is the front page of a Muhammad Speaks newspaper, which is the 84th chapter of the Holy Quran, which is called The Bursting Asunder. Once again, he talking about the Holy Quran, explaining to the black man that you talked about in the Holy Quran. But the black man, he don't know nothing about the Quran, but he know about the Bible. So all black people know, oh, Elijah Muhammad quoted the Bible. He quoted the Quran. This is a whole chapter. He breaks down the whole chapter of it. He used to do this all the time. He wrote an article every week.
So if I can get you right, you said that most people know the Bible, they don't know the Quran. Y'all been established for 92 years. So why don't they know the Quran? 93. And they don't know the Quran?
No, sir.
Y'all still quoting the Bible? Sound like y'all failing at it sound like y'all failing at the job.
No, sir. The prophecy says it's only 144,000, right?
Where's that at? Ho. Where the 144,000 at? Where that's at?
That's in the Bible. But in the Holy Quran, in the 84th chapter, it talks about the bursting asunder.
Finish it.
What the hell is happening here, man?
The body.
Hey, the 144,000. Just tell me y'all can hear them sound effects. Just give me a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the sound effects. I think I got the volume up loud enough. Y'all just give me a 1 real fast. So is that tampered with, the 144,000? Is that tampered with?
The whole Bible is tampered with. The way you tamper
is the 144,000. So is the 144,000 tampered with?
No, that's the truth.
Okay, so why are you quoting from a tampered with? Okay, what is the vetting process that y'all use to determine what is tampered with and what's not? Give me the vetting process. He said that, and just so you know, before you do that, the 144,000 is only the rulers that were ruled under Christ. If you actually kept reading, you'll see. Let me read it for you. Let me teach you the Bible, because you don't know the Bible at all. No Muslim knows the Bible. Let me just teach you real fast. This is Revelation 7. So in Revelation 7, it says, and I heard Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which was sealed, and they were sealed in 144,000, which is what he just quoted. Now, here's the heavy part. It says the 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. But he says, we not Israelites. But he said 144,000. So now if he get on this mic when he get it and say the 144,000 is the right number, Israelites is the wrong nation, I'm clipping this live. I'm clipping it if he say that. But let me keep reading. Wait. Let me keep reading. So now the 144,000 talks about sealing the government. When you get to verse 9 in the same chapter, it says, and after this, meaning after he sees the 144,000 Israelites, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number. So the 144,000 is not the only ones that's going to rule here on earth.
So, okay, in that same chapter in Revelation, it also talks about a woman. Does it mean a woman?
In this chapter?
In Revelations, where it talks about the woman that's pregnant with the child.
In Revelation 12.
Is it talking about a woman?
It's not Revelation. See, again, I'm gonna teach you the Bible. When you're reading Revelations, majority of what's written in Revelation is not literal. The woman ain't literal. The serpent, the dragon.
Oh, really? So that's not literal. Dragon not literal.
No, it's a metaphor.
Okay. So when it's talking about Israel, that's not a metaphor. It means Israel.
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know?
I'm gonna teach you. Listen, man. Listen, I didn't know this was gonna be Captain Tazaryach teaches the Muslim night, but let me read it. So in the same chapter, this is how you know. So I'm gonna go back to Revelation 7. So I already read verse 4. It says, of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad, 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher, 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon, 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi, 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar, 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000.
So how do you know, if you know that the woman is not talking about a woman, who told you that? This is what we try to show us, who the man who God raised to teach the Israelites the truth that was hidden in the Bible.
You know what's funny?
How do you know that it's talking about a woman? Because you wasn't teaching the New Testament until you heard us.
That's a lie.
All we ask, show us who was doing it. Show us who taught y'all.
Let me tell y'all something.
Hold on. Just you
I
don't
want to
show us who God is. You don't want to do that.
I answered that already.
Now I'm asking you, okay, you sound like you know how to interpret the Bible. It's plain that black people did not know the right interpretation of the Bible in 1611, 1711, 1811, and 1911.
Hey, when did Elijah
Malcolm X talking about the Bible? We can show Elijah Muhammad. So we want to ask the Israelites, if y'all taught us, we copying from y'all, we reading from y'all leaders. Show us who taught y'all then.
Can you give me the year that the Nation of Islam was established?
Man. Answer what I'm asking.
This is simple. Like, because you said 93 years. Do you have the year? Like, was it 1930, 1920, 1940?
Okay,
I'm going to
answer that after you tell us who
No.
taught.
When you say that, I'm going to answer who taught us. I just want to get that answer from you, and then I'm going to go. That's all I need. Was it like 1930, 1920? Like, what year was it? I'm just curious. Well, if it's 2023 and you say it was 93 years ago, so if I just do 2020 and 90,
it's 93 years, brother.
Right. No, I'm rounding off. Relax. So if I take the 23, just make that 20, make that 90, you got 20, you minus 7, 1930. So let's say 1930. So since 1930, y'all didn't know the Bible either. Nobody knew the Bible.
No black man knew the Bible.
No, y'all still don't know the Bible. I've been teaching you all night.
Okay, all right. I hear you. Who taught the Bible? Who was the one who God raised to teach the black man the Bible? That's all I'm asking you.
Right, I'm going to answer you. The answer may be a little lengthy, but I'm going to answer you. So now, when it came to who taught us the Bible, well, it's interesting that a man that follows the Quran that was from an ignorant man.
Brother.
Answer
who taught you. If you ask me who taught
when you
I say the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, straight up.
I'm not going to do that.
When you ask me who is God, Master Farad Muhammad. He came July 4th, 1930. He was born February 26, 1877. You laugh, that's cool. But we know who our God is. We know who our messenger is. We know what he taught, and we know what y'all copying.
Right,
y'all
I got
have
you.
Nothing to show. Y'all don't have no newspapers. Y'all don't have radio broadcasts. Y'all don't have books. Y'all don't have leaders. When y'all want to talk about the lost sheep, y'all quoting Malcolm. You ain't quoting none of y'all leaders. When y'all want to reference some, y'all talk about Muhammad Ali, all of that. If we, like y'all say, we worship a rock that's in Mecca. That's what y'all say.
I do worship a rock.
Okay, that's what you say.
But why can't I answer the question? Say you doing all this talk? Like, you can ad lib, which I don't mind. So why you get mad when I ad lib?
Because you're not answering. Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Okay, you right. You right.
Thank you.
You right.
So, like I said, it's interesting that a man wants me to show who taught me when their ignorant founder of the Quran couldn't learn nothing, but somehow the Lord showed him. In Joel 2:27, let me make sure I got the right verse. Hold on. Joel 2:28, it says, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. When you go to John 14, I believe, when it says the Holy Spirit shall teach you all things. So this also answers your question about God being real. Everybody heard me already bring out with Crowley, how the Lord appeared before him. So when you look at the Israelites, when we came over here, we was given a book that they said, that we was told we couldn't read and write, which was the handicap that black people had. And then they gave us a Bible. And the Lord put that spirit on those men back then to understand that Bible. So after your Crowley, you had your Denmark Vessies, you had your Nat Turners, you had all these men that was reading the Bible. And it was in what you would call the infant stages of learning the Bible. And then you had who you mentioned, your Rabbi Ford and your Rabbi Matthews and our leader, Abba Bivens, that then started learning the Old and New Testament. And as they started learning it, the Lord revealed, this ain't talking about the Jewish man. This is talking about you. And so the Abba Bivens separated from the Jewish man and brought Yaquab, Ariah, and Mashal with him. And then they sat down and the Spirit started teaching them. And as they started learning, they would establish what today is known as the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So when you ask who taught us, that came directly from the Most High. The scriptures say he revealed his secrets to the prophets. That's why you have no knowledge of the Bible. And the only answer you can give when you don't understand it is to say it was tampered with. That's why you say Noah is tampered with, Lot is tampered with. There ain't no tampering. You just don't know how to teach it. You don't.
This is a fact. You can name all these people. You can give your breakdown as far as the Israelites. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught the black nation because in Malachi, it says that, behold, I will send you Elijah. And he, one person, will turn the hearts of the children to the fathers and the hearts of the fathers to the children. God always raises one person.
He never raised up Elijah, ever.
Okay.
He would not have given him a white God.
Show us. See that?
He would not have given him a white God.
Okay. Show us. Okay. What year? You say it's this spirit who started teaching these brothers. How come this spirit, who you talking about is God, couldn't outshine the Muslims?
What do you mean?
Only Israelites know about Abba Bivens, the Israelite school, the Ford Crowley, I don't mean no disrespect to these brothers, but only Israelites know them. The whole black nation knows the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All black people call themselves black. They used to say they was Negroes in color. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad turned their hearts. And the black man used to eat hog. Now there's so many people eating healthy that the white man has to have healthy food in his restaurant. Usually they would tell before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they say all you got to do is pray over it. But since the Honorable Elijah Muhammad left no stone unturned, nothing is hidden about the white man no more. Not because of Abba Bivens, not because of Matthews, because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Nothing else is hidden about the black man. We know the black man is the original man. We know that the black man is God. Black man is the original man. Don't even make sense. The black man, from us come all other people. The
black man being the original man don't even make sense.
Say again.
The black man being the original man doesn't even, it's as stupid as Yaqub creating the white man.
All right, let me explain, y'all, because I heard a brother from IUIC talking about is that
not what he said?
The brother from Yaqub
created the white man.
Let me break it down. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that a black scientist named Yaqub was studying on the life germ of the black man. Just like any other scientist, just like the white man can clone, the black man is the God of the universe. So the messenger taught us that when Yaqub was studying on this black germ, which was, he said, was the sperm of the black man, He said he realized that
It
the
was the
black
sperm
man,
of the black man.
yes, sir. He was a scientist.
Hey, y'all,
He
let's make
said
sure.
that Yaqub saw that the black man has two people in him. He said one was black and one was brown. So he said Yaqub, being a scientist, he said if he could separate the brown germ from the black, graft the brown germ into its last stage, he will have a white man. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that when Yaqub was grafting the white man, the white race, from the black man, we got to remember, because everybody can laugh at Yaqub, say, look, I don't think Yaqub ever existed. All right, how did the white man get here? How did brown people get here? Which is the Japanese. How did the Chinese get here? Nobody can explain that, but we can explain it to you.
I can explain
Honorable
it.
Elijah Muhammad taught us that when Yaqub destroyed all of the black, he had a brown race of people. And the brown race of people represent the Japanese. He
So
said that
Yaqub destroyed all of the
200
black.
years-
I never heard this, so I'm asking the question. So Yaqub destroyed all of the black?
Yeah, he destroyed all of the black.
So Yaqub created the white man. So did he destroy all of the black before he created the white man or after?
Before.
So before he created the white man, he destroyed all the black?
Yes, sir.
And he was black?
Yes, sir. He was a scientist.
So you telling me a black man destroyed all of black people to create white people?
Yes, sir.
Man, F Yaqub. Why would we give any love? Elijah, that's a horrible breakdown, brother. I'm sorry. So you telling me a black man hated black people so much he destroys all the black people?
He didn't hate. Just like
Why you
God
destroy him?
in the Bible, it says that God gives the devil.
We not
God
talking about.
gives the devil time to rule in the Bible, right?
You gotta tell me. You gotta show me that in the Bible. What I do know is
So
you
it
said
don't say after the
who's a black.
workings of Satan. It don't
I'm
say after
asking
the
you.
workings
I'm asking you to just show me the Bible verse. What you talk about? What you
Second
just said.
Second Thessalonians.
You just gotta give me the book, chapter, verse. That's all. But what you said is Yaqub, who's a black scientist, destroys all black people.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
White people, and then creates Japanese brown people.
Let me finish the breakdown. So he said after he destroyed all of the black to get the brown, he destroyed all the brown to get to a yellow race of people. After he destroyed all of the yellow for 200 more years, then he got to the white race. So when you talking about
how did the black and brown get back?
Huh?
How did they come back? If he destroyed all of the black and the brown, how did they get back?
He didn't destroy all of the brown. He destroyed all when he was grafting on the island of Pilan.
You just said that he destroyed all of the black. Then he created white.
Listen.
Okay.
He was grafting. He was grafting on the island of Pilan. So he had these different races. So once he had
so just so I can be clear, so there was other black people, other places. He just took like a couple of black people with him, or the whole.
When it says in the Bible, when it talks about let us make man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that represents Yaqub. That's the making of the white, because the black man is the original man. We wasn't made. We are original. Original is not made. Made means you were made. So the white race.
So your Allah didn't create you?
No, sir. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the black man is self-created.
Wow. So what is the point of
that's God knowledge, brother.
So why did Allah
that
die?
Knowledge changed the black man. You can say, "Oh wow, that knowledge changed the black man."
So did Allah die because he was white?
Everybody know about Yaqub. You can make fun of Yaqub, but when black people
I'm asking you, I said that Allah died because he's white.
Hold on. Let me finish. When black people heard about Yaqub, they laughed at it because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the truth that he teach, he said, if you listen to a little bitty piece of it, it'll cause you to change. So black people didn't think that all races of people came from the black man. We thought that Adam was the first man, and everybody came from him.
See,
Ain't nobody
y'all don't
know
know the
before the
Bible.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad in that breakdown that everybody laughed. Black people wasn't talking about white people come from us. They weren't telling them. They didn't do that till after they heard the messenger break down Yaqub. Even though, because that's the thing about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when you know the history. When he first started teaching this God knowledge, people laughed. When he first used to talk about the knowledge of self, black people would laugh. They didn't have black studies departments in college. They didn't think that it was important to study your history. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about knowledge of self, people laughing like you laughing about Yaqub. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught the black man you can eat 1 meal a day, and we used to eat 3 and 4 meals with hog, we thought that was funny. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we could fast.
Yeah, you diverting. We was talking about Yaqub. And
we
when you
talking about Yaqub, we can continue to talk about Yaqub. But I'm telling you, everything the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that was once funny, y'all practicing now. It was funny to say.
No, it's still funny because I'm gonna tell you what.
Was funny.
Yaqub
but all
is
groups
funny.
Take what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught and y'all tailor it, just like with the FOI.
No problem. Wait, before we get to the FOI,
we can recognize all other groups copying the FOI.
Got you, but let me just help you out. Let me show you how we not copying at all. I would never believe we don't copy none of y'all. Because that ain't what you just said was so utterly ridiculous and makes no sense. What you said was Yaqub eradicated the black race, created white people, then created brown people, and he was black. I would never tell that story.
When you wouldn't tell the story, but you would tailor that story. You would tailor that story to the Israelite stuff.
This is the bump back session.
In Genesis, the first chapter, when it said, "Let us make man in our image," it's talking about giving them the ability to think, what separates us from an animal.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
I learned it. The Lord revealed it to me. I was taught.
So did the Lord tell? Did the Lord tell?
Wait, I didn't interrupt you when you was talking.
Oh, my bad. You're right.
Well, Nathaniel learned this from ISBK as well before he broke off. So now, but he was right when he said it. So again, there's no such thing as one man, one woman. There was a boom of people created. It tells you in Genesis, the first chapter, when it says male and female created them and say, go subdue the earth. Two people can't subdue the earth. Adam was already. I just want to finish.
My bad.
Adam was already alive when he was given the breath of life. We call it the walking dead today because you can be breathing, but spiritually be dead. Adam was spiritually brought to life. And you can, all you got to do is just read Genesis. When Adam can y'all let me know if y'all can hear me? I need to know if y'all can let me know if y'all can hear me real fast, please. Sure, appreciate it. Can y'all hear me? Or no? Hear me now? Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all let me know? Is the sound still low? I had to switch it. The damn. Okay. No, I ain't got no trouble. My hold on, let's see if I can do it this way. My laptop decided to fucking excuse my language. My laptop decided to take a break. I'm trying to see if I can get it back. This is my phone. This is why I like the flex phone because I could flex. But that was horrible, y'all. I don't know what to call whatever that display was right there. I don't know what to call it. There's a lot of clips. The Lord Shaw G said, "That's of the Lord." Let me put Shaw G's comment up there. Hold on, wait. Let me put it. Let me see. Why I can't? Oh, I can't. Okay, yeah. Shaw G said, "That's the Lord." We probably got a lot of clips out of there. I hope y'all appreciate it. I didn't expect it to go like that. What was supposed to happen? Like I had a list of questions that I was going to. Let me put his comment up there. I had a list of questions that I was going to ask him, but I think he wanted the battle, and so he got the battle. You know, he chose violence, so we went with the violence, and he got what he wanted, man. Maybe we do a part 2. Maybe I try to make this like a Friday night fights, like find somebody else to fight. But I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. I thought this was only going to go from like 8 to like 9, most 9:30. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Before y'all go, I do want to let y'all know my body butters, right? So I got a 30% off sale right now. What y'all may not know is there's a few changes. The price dropped. So the prices dropped from $25 to $20 for the Fourth Dimension. The prices remaining the same for the Carl Gas, but I did increase the body butters. So now the body butters are 10 ounces instead of 8 ounces. So now when you buy the Carl Gas ones, they're 8 ounces. They're 10 ounces. The regular ones are still 8 ounces. They're still $20. And then the oils are going to be 1.3 ounces. So when you buy the $40 oil, the oil is also going to be bigger too. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. 30% off sale, gonna run with it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Y'all know my laptop broke. I'm taking donations for a new laptop. Every time I say that, man, it make me laugh, man. But I'm taking donations for a new laptop anyway. I'm gonna say it out loud. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until next time, Shalom, Israel.